Content warning. On this podcast, we discuss sensitive issues, including, but not limited to, swearing, tasteless jokes, situations of a sexual nature, and drug use. This podcast is not intended for children. Welcome to BiblioWrecks, where we read the worst stories the world has to offer.
But not today.
Today we're doing something nice because it's Christmas.
Happy Hogs Watch.
Yeah. We're doing a Terry Pratchett book because we can't hold ourselves back any longer.
We're doing a bibliotomy.
We are doing a bibliotomy. Also, I'm Bam Bam.
And I'm Bugs. It's been a while since we did this.
Yeah.
Also, we're using new microphones.
Yeah, and also Bugs graduated.
I graduated.
Yay.
I am now an accountant.
Yeah.
And
professional
a
bean
podcaster.
counter.
Yes. And then I realized that the bad guys in several of Terry Pratchett's books are accountants.
Yeah. I mean,
auditors.
Considering that villainous joke you told me, it makes sense.
Oh, do you want to tell the listeners and get it off your chest?
Yeah. So, the way the joke goes, I sell you a horse for $70. Then you sell it back to me for $80. And then I sell it to you once again for $90. And the amount of money I've made...
No, and then I sell it back to you for $100.
Okay.
We've had two transactions.
So how much profit have I made?
How much profit have I made?
Yeah, how much profit have you made? Which the answer...
is $20.
When the intuitive answer is 10. And that fucks up me. It fucks up everyone else who I tell that joke because it's like an alien told it.
Okay.
Because you're as you explained, you're treating the horse as a separate transaction every time. The fact that it's the same horse doesn't matter.
And the same person I'm buying and selling from has no impact on tax accounting. It was two separate transactions, and in each transaction I made $10. Other people would consider buying it back for a higher amount as causing
losing
a loss.
money. Yeah.
Instead, you would just have a higher basis. So
yeah,
he and I have been arguing over this joke and laughing about it.
I think we've also come to the agreement that it is a flawed question.
It's a trick question. It's like those math questions on Facebook that ignore parentheses. And then you're like, well, it could be this or it could be that.
Yeah, because if you're a tax accountant, you're not looking at whether these transactions are actually connected. You're just looking at the transactions themselves.
Correct. And when that question came up in class, I didn't even think about it being the same horse, the same person, because I had been deeply steeped in tax accounting culture for months. And I couldn't understand how anyone else got a different amount. So we have disagreed. I'm no longer human.
Yeah. Yeah, you are a stack of meat that does taxes.
Yep. A shell of a human. Yeah. And Terry Pratchett would agree. And
that one, it infuriates me. I understand, but it also makes me angry.
It infuriates you, but also makes you angry.
Yeah, it makes me repeat myself. That's what happens when I get infuriated.
Well, Merry Hogs Watch.
Yeah, we're seeking to get our humanity back this Hallows Eve. Hogs
Watch night.
Yeah. I wasn't allowed to read this because you wanted to do this.
Well, we were trying to come up with a good Christmas bonus. The Hogfather by Terry Pratchett is about Christmas. I had this vague recollection of having read it before, but I couldn't remember it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, if he tells me the story, I'm going to start remembering what happened. And it's not going to be that fun of an episode.
Yeah. And I was starting to read it. I had read part of the first chapter. And then you were like, no, don't read it.
Don't read it.
I had it slapped out of my hands.
And then I had to borrow it on Kindle because you still had my paper copy.
Yeah, that you had given me like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That I had not read.
I do want to give myself a little kind of caveat here at the beginning. Terry Pratchett, all of his books are layers. They're onions. You have the plot and what actually happens. And then in between every little bit of things that happens are jokes and innuendos and observations on human nature and very, very clever puns. And that is part of why people love Terry Pratchett. But if I read you every clever pun and amusing story, I would be reading you the whole book and we would get knocked for copyright. I have to tell you the story like I do everything else, where I tell you the plot and I sprinkle in quotes and jokes and the reasons we love this author.
Yeah. Also, another thing I really like about Terry Pratchett, he really keeps up with his lore that he makes up for, like, the fantasy races and stuff. Like, I was just thinking about it yesterday because I've been reading Monstrous Regiment again. There's some lore that gets dropped in one of the Sam Vimes, what is it, the Night's Watch?
Guards is the first one. And then, the Night Watch as in, like, the police force season?
Yeah. It's the series that follows him and the Night Watch.
Yeah.
And some of the lore that's dropped is about trolls and the fact that they only have 4 numbers that they use. It's 1, 2, a few, and lots. Or many. I think it changes a couple of times, but that's roughly that.
Some, many.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And I was listening to Monsters Regiment yesterday, and I got to that part, and yeah, he always keeps up with the fact that trolls can't count very high.
His work is about humanity. It's about why humans behave the way we do. And he uses different mythical races to poke fun at different religions, poke fun at different types of humans, poke fun at different ways people just explain themselves. And it's funny, it's heartwarming, it's endearing, and it's also, what is that word? Shoot. It's where you have something and you kind of like turn it upside down and it's poking fun at something. It's a specific style of writing.
Satirical.
It is satirical. Not to the point of like cynicism.
Yeah.
But he does have satirical aspects to his writing.
Yeah, it's good-natured satire.
Yes.
Well, it's just like the 1, 2, and many thing, because he lifted that from some researchings from some less developed tribal peoples. They don't have need for words much higher than that. There are some cultures that only have numbers on that level. The way it's explored in the book, that doesn't mean that the trolls are stupid, and it certainly doesn't mean that the tribal peoples that use that are stupid. They just don't have a need for anything past that in their culture.
Right. So all of this to say, please read Hogfather. I skipped a lot of jokes. I skipped some side plots. I skipped scenes and things that happen. If you read this after listening to this episode, you will catch so many fun jokes. The only thing that will be spoiled is the basic plot. And honestly, the plot is never why I read Terry Pratchett.
No, it's really the journey.
It's the journey, but every little leaf and rock and bug you see along the way is what makes it so charming.
Yeah, the little jokes and death shows up in the scene. That's always fun.
So I think you should definitely read it after we do the episode, and you will laugh even more when you read it because you'll have an idea of the plot, and then going along, you'll catch all of the foreshadowing and all of the jokes along the way. The story of the Hogfather takes place on the Discworld, and I'm going into this assuming most of our listeners have not read Terry Pratchett. It is a flat planet that rests on 4 elephants that stand on the back of the Great Artuan, a turtle who flies through space. But most of the things that happen on it are similar to Earth. We have Earth normal weather. We have different directions. I can't remember what they're called right now. Hubward and like counter Hubward and like stuff like that.
Yeah, in reference to the hub of the flat world.
Because it's spinning on the back of elephants. But they have seasons, they have holidays, they have things like that. Everything is just slightly different. This book is part of the Death series, which followed Death, the Grim Reaper.
Oh, this is part of the Death series?
It is.
Oh, that's fun.
Which
book in that series is it?
Have you read Soul Music?
No.
It actually follows Susan as much as it follows Death.
Okay.
And it's after Soul Music.
Yeah, I think I've read Mort and... Oh, what was the last one? Thief of Time? Or Time Thief? Or something like that.
Right.
I think that was the last one in that series.
Did you read... So you haven't read Soul... Do you know who Susan is then?
Yeah, Susan was a pretty big character in Time Thief.
Is she a teacher in that one?
Yeah.
This is before that one. She is not yet a teacher.
Yeah.
Her grandfather is Death. He is made of bones, he wears a black robe, and he has a scythe, because that's how humans from previous cultures imagined death. He's also fascinated by people and will try out things to be more human, which ends up causing all of the fun shenanigans that happen in his books.
Yeah, because he's so deadpan and he just doesn't get it.
Everything is literal to him. He'll occasionally go on vacation and someone else will get sucked into his job. In Mort, I believe it was Mort. In Soul Music, it's Susan. She gets sucked into his job because he goes on a vacation.
Yeah. And not only that, I think there's a couple of other characters that just show up every now and then, like the Death of Rats or something like that. He's a separate character.
Yes, Death of Rats is a separate embodiment of death, and he only services rats and mice and other small rodents. In one of his earlier books, he has an adopted daughter and an apprentice, Isabel and Mort. They get married and have a daughter named Susan. So Isabel and Mort understand that magic is real. And so they raise her with logic and good sense with which to completely ignore all magic. Because if she uses magic, she could be a very dangerous, powerful person, and they want her to be completely normal. In the Discworld, though, fairy tales are real. It's more real than logic or sense. So she has these powers, but she tries very, very, very hard to ignore them. While grown-ups generally can't see the Hogfather or Death or Tooth Fairies, children, wizards, witches, and Susan can. They see what's actually there, not what their brain says should be there. The Hogfather and Hogswatch are Santa and Christmas, respectively.
Yeah.
I wrote my notes here. I was just curious. Did you grow up with Santa?
Yeah, my parents didn't... I didn't get it from my parents. My parents were pretty apathetic to Christmas traditions, so any of it that I picked up was pretty much just picked up from like media and stuff. So I had like I guess like a traditional view of Santa, but my parents didn't like propagate it for me much.
Oh, like you didn't have presents marked from Santa?
They would have presents from Santa, but it wasn't like a constant threat like, oh, Santa's not going to bring you any presents, because I think my parents would have thought that was dorky.
Okay. So you grew up with a more traditional idea of Santa, but your parents didn't go out of their way to leave glitter foot trails across the living room.
Yeah, they didn't do any of that.
Okay. I grew up with Christmas, but no Santa, until I was 9. And then my mom decided Christmas itself was a pagan holiday, and we didn't do Christmas anymore. And then I started trying to do Christmas again as an adult with my husband after we got married. But it's really hard for me to have any of the appropriate emotions other people do around Christmas, because I had it and then it got taken away, and wanting it back is sinful. So that part of me just kind of got meh.
Warped.
Yeah. And I do it to make my kids happy, and I try to make everyone else happy.
Yeah.
And I enjoy giving gifts. So I enjoy giving people presents, but the rest of it I just do to make everyone else happy. I'm already cynical about Santa and Christmas. So reading this book for someone who grew up with Santa, or who enjoys the holidays, or has this magical idea of what Christmas can be like, this book would be a cold bath, because it looks at Christmas very pointedly and unwraps all of the layers around commercialism and pagan beliefs and old traditions.
Plays with a lot of the ideas of like, why do we do things like this?
And what's the true spirit of Christmas?
Yeah.
And so none of that is shocking to me if someone was reading it who hadn't thought about the fact that Santa is a small god. He's a false idol that we give offerings to and we worship and we ask him to please bless us with his presence.
Which, Small God's another Terry Pratchett book.
True. To me, it just doesn't have any effect. To other people, it would.
Yeah.
So I'm coming at this book with a slightly different perspective, whereas most people who would read this, it would be a bit pointed satirical to them.
Yeah,
and to me, it's just, oh yeah, that's common sense.
Yeah, it might like strike a little bit of a nerve. I don't think most adults are like that sensitive about Santa, really.
Right.
But yeah, it would probably strike a chord a little bit more with some people.
I've had conversations with people where I pointed out that Santa was literally a false god, and I've gotten some pretty hard pushback and shock.
Yeah.
Because most people don't point that out.
Yeah. My favorite thing to point out about Santa is he's the patron saint of prostitutes.
Really?
You didn't know that?
No.
Oh. Yeah.
Not St. Nicholas, right?
No, that's St. Nicholas, yeah. He was canonized as a saint afterwards because what it was...
I knew he gave money to poor girls, but in the Anglican tradition, I was told they were quite virginal.
Well, I mean, yeah, in the Anglican tradition, I'm sure they would. But yeah, I think that's how the stocking thing got started because he was just a slightly better off older man, I think in like some Eastern country. I think like
was it Romania or something?
Yeah,
like that?
Romania or Hungary or something like that. And he saved these girls from having to go into prostitution at a very young age by slipping some money into their stockings.
Okay. Because I'd heard the putting your shoes outside of your door and then Santa putting a couple gold coins in them. But I never took any of it seriously because even as a 2-year-old, an old woman would come up to me and say, "What are you getting from Santa?" And I would say, "There's only Jesus, no Santa."
Oh, that's no fun.
And my mom very proudly told that story.
Yeah. Yeah, real ball buster at, I don't know how old you were, at 8 or something.
Oh my God, yes. Although I don't think I ever went around telling other little children. I just considered them pagans.
That's a fucked up way to think about other kids when you are also a kid.
Oh my God.
It's like, look at all these little pagans.
Yep, they're all going to hell. The book opens up in the Guild of Assassins in Ankh-Morpork. Ankh-Morpork is kind of London / New York / Rome, I think.
Yeah.
It's a big main city where all of the big things happen. And the guilds are the organizations that manage people's trades. So the Guild of Assassins arrange people no longer being alive.
Yeah. I think the best way to describe Ankh-Morpork is the way it's described in Sam Vimes' words. It is so devious and so Machiavellian that it circles right back around to being honest.
Yep. The Guild of Assassins accepted a student named Bibliotomy.
Bibliotomy?
Bibliotomy. Teatime.
I can't picture.
Teatime.
Tea time?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the main big
Yeah. A lot of these jokes really do work better when you're actually reading the physical words.
Yeah. Everyone calls him Tea Time. Except to his face. He is just this little evil bastard.
Oh.
He pronounces it Bibliotomy. And people who don't pronounce it that way to his face find the point of his knife in their throat.
Yeah, this is very practical already.
He was different than other people in that he saw people as things. Lord Downey of the Guild said, "We took pity on him because he'd lost both parents at an early age. I think, on reflection, we should have wondered more about that."
Just the most cartoonishly evil child.
Yes. Yeah. And though now he's an adult, he is still very childlike in the way children who are real bastards are childish. Like, they will just rip the legs off of flies because they want to see what happens. They will chase a cat until it falls over from exhaustion and then poke at it with sticks. You know, really nasty little children that people don't like to admit exist. We go to Unseen University, which is the wizarding university where all the magic stuff doesn't happen, in in Ankh-Morpork.
Another physical copy that I have not read yet.
Oh, really?
Unseen Academicals.
That one is so good. I listened to it not long ago. Ridcully is the Arch-Chancellor. He is having the gardener open a door that has been nailed shut and covered with signs that say, "Do not open." He wants to open it because the sign says, "Do not open."
Yeah.
He also says that the floor plan shows that this is a bathroom, and he wants a bathroom to himself because sharing is unhygienic. Where you get lots of people bathing together, the Veruca gnome is running around with his little sack, he says. And very faintly, there's a little sound of gling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Do you know what a Veruca is?
I don't.
Do you want to guess?
Veruca gnome.
If it's unhygienic to share showers with people.
It's a sewer gnome. I don't know.
It's warts.
Veruca means warts?
Uh-huh. So if it's a Veruca gnome, he would be in his little sack. What he would be passing out would be lots of little warts.
It's a scrotum wart? Is that the joke?
No, you know the wart, like plantar warts, the ones you get in your feet. You know, you have a tooth fairy, and he takes your teeth. Imagine a fairy that gives you things.
Oh, so this is a wart gnome that gives you warts.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So he's saying if you share showers, the Veruca gnome will come around sharing his warts with you. Mm-hmm. We shift to Susan, granddaughter of Death, and she is now governess to 2 young children. She tries to be normal, but sometimes she gets premonitions, and she just sees something that will happen in the future. At this moment, Twyla, the little girl, is telling Susan she's scared of the monster in the cellar. Susan picks up the poker and goes to deal with it. There's a dinner party going on, and some guests see her and laugh at the idea of attacking a child's nightmare with a poker. She goes into the basement, and they all hear crashes and screams. She comes back up with a bent poker, and everyone claps and congratulates her with the use of parapsychology. The guests go away, and Susan goes back to the cellar and drags the hairy 8-legged creature up the stairs and to the back door. It fades with the rising sun. Twyla, satisfied that the monster is dead, goes back to bed. Susan hates the previous governess who used to make up monsters to scare the children into obedience.
Oh, so these are monsters that are generated by the children's imagination.
Yep, and they're real because children see things that are real. Oh. And Susan sees things that are real because she's Death's granddaughter. Lord Downey of the Assassin's Guild has a very surprising late-night visitor. They arrived with no noise, no door opening. The dogs don't react, and they triggered no traps. It is a being in a dull gray robe, and it doesn't speak. The words just appear in Downey's head. They want a person ended. They want the fat man inhumed. They pay 3 million gold coins that have always been there into the vaults. And their name is the Auditors.
Oh, they're like the space-time geeks that they fuck with shit.
Yes.
They're always involved with the time stuff. That's the only time they ever show up is when someone's fucking around with time stuff.
Well, they don't like messiness. They want all of the universe to be orbiting planets and rocks that go where they're supposed to go.
They don't like how fun this nonsense world is.
They don't like life, and they don't like humans, because humans fuck shit up and move things around that shouldn't be moved around. And they don't like messiness, and they hate belief and imagination. They like things to be orderly and sensible.
Yeah, tax accountants.
Auditor. However, they can't get rid of life directly because that's against the rules. You have to have rules in a universe. And life evolved, so they can't just go in and screw with stuff. They can, however, interact with humans to an extent. A small extent. And they are paying Lord Downey to kill the Hogfather. He kind of represents all of human messy belief in one single person.
Yeah, I mean, it's a being that gives presents for no reason based on arbitrary rules. So, yeah, I get it.
And just about everyone believes in him.
Yeah.
Lord Downey thinks about it and calls for Mr. Tea Time. Tea Time has a reputation for enjoying his job too much, and killing servants and bystanders who other assassins would usually ignore. He also nailed a dog to a ceiling to prevent it from barking.
God damn.
That kind of fellow.
Gee. Ooh. Tells you a lot.
Yep.
Very effective storytelling.
He has one gray glass eye, It doesn't have a pupil. It's just gray glass. And one regular eye with a very, very tiny pupil. He is disturbing to look at or be around, especially by anyone who knows his work. Downey asks him how he would go about inhuming the fat man. Tea Time thinks about it and makes a plan. What most anyone else would laugh or argue, but Tea Time has a unique perspective on things. And because he still has this manic, childlike mind, he doesn't not believe in the Hogfather.
Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah. I also really want to appreciate the use of the word inhuming as opposed to exhuming.
Yep.
I really like that use of language. It's like very roundabout way of saying kill this guy.
Well, that's
but it's very funny.
Lord Downey is a gentleman.
Yeah.
Susan is taking the children to the park. Gawain, the boy, stepped on a crack, which made man-eating bears appear. The bear sees Susan looking at it, and it backs away. Susan is angry because Gawain only stepped on the crack to watch Susan fight a monster. She tells him off.
Yeah.
Susan is very similar to the book version of Mary Poppins.
Yeah.
She is stern, no nonsense, and ignores all magic. Her own magical abilities come from being related to death, but she completely ignores everything magical. And when the children say, "Oh, you did this thing," it's, "Nope, that didn't happen. This doesn't exist."
Fuck you, kid. Shut up.
Yep.
That is very... I like that observation that as soon as a kid sees that you can do something, they want you to do it all the time.
And it's amusing.
Yeah.
That night, Twyla says that kids on the playground told her that the Hogfather doesn't exist and it's just your dad doing it. Susan tells her that wherever there are gullible and credulous people, there is indeed a Hogfather.
As long as they're idiots, they'll still believe shit.
Yeah, and she is just no nonsense. She doesn't believe in the Hogfather. This is stories you tell your kids. Because that's how her parents raised her.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to me. This isn't real. We don't believe it. We completely ignore it. That's for other weirdos.
Yeah.
We meet a group of 5 men in a pub. There's Chicken Wire, Banjo, Cat's Eye, Peachy, and Medium Dave.
God damn it, these names are just too charismatic.
Do you want the footnote to Medium Dave?
I do want the footnote to Medium Dave. I have to know.
Ankh-Morpork's underworld, which was so big that the overworld floated around on top of it like a very small hen trying to mother a nest of ostrich chicks, already had Big Dave, Fat Dave, Mad Dave, Wee Davy, and Lanky Di. Everyone had to find their niche.
So he's Medium Dave.
He's the Medium Dave.
Yeah.
Banjo is huge and slow and childlike, and Medium Dave is his brother who looks after him. The 5 gentlemen are violent thugs who are meeting Tea Time to help him in his endeavors, and each man will get $10,000, which is a lot in Ankh-Morpork. They don't like Tea Time, but money's money. They are joined by Mr. Sidney, a student wizard. Everyone is suspicious now that there's a wizard involved, but Tea Time won't tell them the location, and on the way they need to pick up a locksmith named Mr. Brown. Tea Time looks at Banjo and asks if it can do tricks. This riles up Medium Dave. Tea Time then says Banjo looks like a volcano. Chicken Wire explains that while Banjo isn't bright, he can lift 2 men by their necks in each hand. Medium Dave is angry, but Chicken Wire pushes him back. Tea Time says he hopes everyone can be friends and gives them a big smile. He then punches Banjo in the mouth. We shift to following Death. He is at the bottom of the ocean, looking at a creature growing at the edge of a volcanic vent. He pulls out a minuscule scythe from a jeweler's box and snips its life thread when a rock nearby is dislodged and pulls the tube worm from its seabed.
That's funny.
Yeah. Death stands up and feels disharmony in the universe. A man is driving a cart through the snow when Tea Time jumps into the seat next to him. He protests, but stops when he feels the blade prick his skin through his clothes. Tea Time calls over his gang and tells them Ernie here is going to give them a ride. Banjo is carrying a large bundle over his shoulder that moves and makes muffled noises. Banjo is stressed. "It's not right hitting girls. Our ma'am said no hitting girls." Tea Time hushes him and says Ernie doesn't need to be bothered with their problems. Ernie insists he's deaf and half blind, and he didn't hear anything. On the way, they pick up Mr. Brown. The cart is driving toward the university, where lots of unused magic gets dumped, so it's a dangerous and weird place. They turn into a dead end.
That is a very funny idea, is just having like a magic dump. It's like a radioactive waste dump.
Yes, and people can't live there because stuff is too bizarre and weird. They turn into a dead end. Just at the wall up ahead, said Tea Time conversationally. I think you generally go through just where there is a pile of rubble by the old dead tree, although you wouldn't see it unless you looked closely. But I've never seen how you do it. Ernie protests, and Tea Time tells him to take them through or he'll kill him. If he takes them through, he'll lose his job, but if he refuses, he'll die. Ernie pulls out a small tin and explains you throw a pinch of this dust to go through the wall, because it's like a magical thin place.
Yeah.
Tea Time throws a pinch of the dust and they see an arch. Tea Time pockets the tin and stabs Ernie, who falls off the cart and dies in the snow. And everyone else is kind of offended because they're normal thugs who would either stab you or,
Yeah, they've got some semblance of humanity, so they're just like, ugh, like we're bad guys, but boy,
Yeah.
dial it down, bud.
Like, there was no need to kill him. You just make him carry you through and whatever.
Right.
Auditors are watching Tea Time. They are impressed at Tea Time's creative ideas. One quote, "Give me a child until he is 7, and he's mine for life." There's a pause while the auditors consider the fact that it used a pronoun, because auditors are only they and them, never I or me. If an auditor starts to have a personality or a separate individualism, they become mortal and then they instantly die. It vanishes with a puff of smoke.
Oh, gosh.
Death shows up and they scatter.
It's like the Borg, but I don't know.
Yeah, because life is individual. You know, every single little thing is individual.
Right, and the individuality makes things messy.
Yes. So the opposite of that is basically like the Borg, I guess.
Yeah.
A hive mind.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. Death shows up because of poor Ernie, and they scatter. Death offers Ernie a hand. He ushers Ernie to the next life, but keeps looking around suspiciously, because he can tell something's going up here. Death leaves, and the auditors come back. They are smug because Death cannot interfere with their plan. There's rules.
The rules.
A mouse gets caught in a mousetrap. He says, "Oops." And here comes the death of Rat.
Yay!
Squeak. I worked on my death voice all week. The death of Rats looks around and it is in a very nice, well-decorated living room. It reads the note to the Hogfather. "Dear Hogfather, for Hog's watch, I would like a drum and a dolly and a teddy bear and a ghastly Omnian Inquisition torture chamber with wind-up rock and nearly real blood you can use again."
And I guess that's Tea Time's.
No, it's just a little kid. Little kid
Right,
love ghastly,
kids
terrible
are just
toys.
fucking weird.
Lots of kids love
Yeah, I
horrible
know.
toys like that.
Kids are weirdly bloodthirsty, but at
Did
the
you
same
never
time,
play Tin Soldiers?
no, I just
Where you smash them with rocks and you you set them up in a long row,
No.
and then you take pellets and you just see how many of them you can kill with one rock at one go.
no. I had other horrible hobbies.
And ends the letter, "I hope the chimney is big enough, but my friend Willem said you are your father, really. Yours, Virginia Prude." So even in the letters, the children are starting to say, Hog's father is not real. And that hasn't happened before. The death of Rats hears a scraping noise in the chimney, and he dashes and hides behind something.
Is it because Susan started telling kids that the Hog's father isn't real?
No, it's part of the mystery of the book.
Okay.
It takes most of the book to find out why.
Gotcha.
A red-robed figure climbs out of the fireplace. It reads the note, fills the stockings, and takes the offerings, pork pie and turnips. And its face is obscured by a huge white beard and red hat. It pulls out a list and checks off boot prints, check. Food gone, check. Stockings. It reads some tiny print. "Ah, yes. Ho, ho, ho." The death of Rat squeaks with shock and runs up the chimney. Indeed, Death has the sleigh with 4 pigs, and Albert, his manservant, is in the pile of presents. Death is worried because the lack of belief in Hogfather has gone through all of the children. He tries to get the pigs to take off, but they won't budge.
Oh.
Albert whispers a suggestion. Death tries it. Apple sauce.
Why?
You eat applesauce with pork.
What?
With pork chops, you eat applesauce.
Are you an alien?
It's delicious.
I've never heard of that.
Well, the pigs understood, so they fly away.
I'm glad the pigs understood. I didn't.
You've never had applesauce with pork?
No.
Oh my god! I'm gonna have to make pork chops and have and applesauce and invite you over.
Okay.
It's really good.
It sounds like green eggs and ham to me, but sure.
Okay. Well, that was a good joke.
I'll take your word for it.
The Death of Rats runs across rooftops until he finds the garden where Raven is hanging out. Have you met Raven?
I don't recall it, unless it's the Raven that, what is the gnome that works for the Night's Watch? That's the only one I can think of.
Raven is friends with Death of Rats.
Is it an actual raven?
Yes.
Okay.
And it talks.
Yeah.
It's somewhat mystic.
Yeah, I think that could be the Raven. No, he wrote a buzzard. Anyway.
Okay. Well, Raven and Death of Rats are
friends,
and they have lots of fun jokes and lots of little shenanigans, and it's very cute, but I skip most of what they do.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear about all of their very cute jokes, read the book.
Yeah.
Raven is bemoaning the lack of entrails at the bird feeder, and Rat convinces him that Death is pretending to be the Hogfather and he needs a ride. Because for some reason, Death of Rats doesn't instantly move from place to place. He actually physically moves most of the time. He has become part of Death, but it's like, you know how you have a piece of like pizza dough and then you like take off this little lump of pizza dough so you can make another little pizza?
Yeah,
it's from the original dough. Mm-hmm. But it's now its own little separate thing with its own separate rules.
Right. And actually, if you try to incorporate dough back into the original dough, it never quite works.
Mm-hmm. So imagine that idea.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good analogy.
Susan is in Beers, the pub for unusual folk. Mm-hmm. And when I listen to the audiobooks, I think it's Beers, B-E-R-S. Mm-hmm. Instead, it's B-I-E-R-S, beer.
And this is another obscure joke that I didn't get that you had to explain to me.
Because a beer is something you put a dead body on.
Mm-hmm. It's a very obscure language joke.
Yes.
And that's another thing I really like about Pratchett is the more you learn about stuff and, you look into it and you're like, this is spelled weird and I don't know why. And you look it up and you're like, oh, I learned a new thing. And now it's funnier.
And every time I have reread his books. A couple of them many times over. Mm-hmm. Every time I re-listen to a book, I catch things I didn't catch before. Mm-hmm. His books are amazing for returning to. Some books, I read that once. I don't really need to read it again.
Yeah.
His are absolutely perfect for comfort reads.
Mm-hmm.
A bogeyman tries to feel her up, and she says, "Go away and stop bothering me." Because where she had to do Death's job for a little while, she absorbed some of his powers and she can do the Death voice. And he gets very scared and runs away. The Raven and Death of Rats arrive at the bar and tell Susan that her grandfather is pretending to be the Hogfather.
Hey, your granddad's being weird.
Yeah. And she tells them she doesn't have a grandfather and to go away. Because she is in denial. Red Cully's new bathroom is gleaming and ready for use. Modo the gardener hasn't tested everything, but Red Cully said he'd test it when he uses it.
And Rick Cully is the
Arch-Chancellor of Unseen University.
Yeah, okay.
Modo laughs about Red Cully's Veruca gnome. Far off is a cling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. And someone falls into a pile of snow and says bugger. Death is having a hard time with playing Hogfather. He's confused about the naughty and nice bit, but Albert is worried about whether they should be doing it at all. But it needs doing, and who else is going to do it?
Is Death's thing like a moral relativism or something?
It's more like there's this chore, and it has to be done. And if nobody's doing it, then I'm the one who just has to do it.
Oh.
It is a thing that must be done.
Huh.
And we understand more of his reasoning as we keep going.
Yeah.
But Albert is just like, this isn't our job. You're supposed to be doing Death's work. You're not supposed to be doing Hogfather stuff. And people are really off-put by the idea of a skeleton delivering toys instead of a fat jolly man.
It is very funny, though.
He has a fake beard on a string. And he has a pillow under his robe. Because he's very thin.
Yeah.
Susan goes home and Twyla informs her there's a monster under her bed. Susan grabs her poker and pulls out the bogeyman from Beers. Gawain gleefully suggests Susan use the voice or the poker on him. The bogeyman is new to town and didn't realize that Susan could see him. And she's like... Gawain's like, use the poker. And Bogeyman's, not the poker. Use the voice. Not the voice. Use the blanket. Not the blanket.
Oh, yeah. The blankets, oh, God. They, like, sort of paralyze them, right?
Because the idea is...
Yeah, if you cover your face...
with a blanket, the bogeyman can't see you.
But if you wrap it on them, they're trapped.
They can't exist.
Oh, God. I forgot about that one.
Yep. And she takes pity on him because he's a new bogeyman in town and didn't know about her. And so she sends him away and tells him, well, you can go to name's address. Their granny or their governess doesn't believe in bogeymen. The Raven and Death of Rats show up in Susan's room and try to warn her. Warned, said Susan, and Raven has to speak for Rat sometimes, because Rat says squeak.
Yeah.
The rat says, you'd better watch out.
No. Yeah, that's pretty good.
There are so many Santa songs and Santa puns in here. And
Yeah.
Susan is furious when Death comes in dressed as the Hogfather. Because he comes through the chimney and she's standing there waiting and the Raven has just warned her. He explains that the Hogfather is dead. Susan grew up with parents that didn't teach her that the Tooth Fairy and Hogfather are real, and they labeled the presents as from themselves and handed her the money for the tooth, like sensible parents.
Taking away all the fun little magic of being a kid, making it more transactional.
So even though on the daily she's beating up bogeymen, she cannot wrap her mind around the fact that there is a real Hogfather. Because that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
What do you mean, dead? Susan demanded. Death explains that while, yes, the Hogfather is an anthropomorphic personification, there are subtle ways of killing him. Death reads the notes and fills the stockings of Twyla and Gawain. Albert eats the pie and drinks the sherry. And Susan screams, why are you doing this? Because they're going along with all of this nonsense. But Death says he can't tell her and to forget she ever saw him. Which, you know, if you tell a person such as Susan.
But yeah, it's a door that it's a door that has don't open on it, and you have to open it now.
Yep. Because if they told her you need to do something about it, she would have gone to bed and read a book.
Right.
But by saying, do not think about this thing, she must now think about this thing. They leave, and Albert tells him that Susan will involve herself now, that he's told her not to. Well, it is against the rules for Death to directly interfere, and he did tell her to forget about it. So he's technically following the rules. Susan hates the idea of a 7-foot skeleton delivering presents to children. She just finds it offensive in her soul.
Yeah, she's very proper. Very Mary Poppins of her.
She tries to, figure out what's going on and asks Rat and Raven, and they don't know. They haven't been following along. They only saw Death come down through that one chimney that one time, and they went to warn her because they're like, your granddad's being batty. So nobody has any idea. She worries that Death has gone wrong in the head. She holds out her hand for Rat to climb into. Quote, it was just like the scene where the sweet and pretty heroine sings a little duet with Mr. Bluebird. She decides someone ought to do something. Did you have a comment on that?
I was just wondering if the rat is also her granddad.
Technically, possibly, partly.
Yeah, I mean, it's magic stuff, and it doesn't matter, but yeah, it's just a weird thought. She's carrying a portion of her grandfather in her hand. That's a weird thought.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Someone has to do something. Death has gone batty. And the only one who can do something is her. So she stops time, because that's one of her powers, and she goes outside. Rat and Raven follow her, and she whistles. Binky comes galloping. Binky is Death's white horse.
Oh, yeah, the pale horse.
Mm-hmm, yeah. The pale horse. She gets on and takes off. Auditors watch her go and discuss dealing with her. She can be killed. They have a duty to rid the universe of sloppy thinking. So that'll be all right. But they can't directly kill her.
Right. I wonder if it's meant to be like a bit of a parallel between Susan and the auditors. Because they're kind of similar in that way, because they hate things to be messy. She doesn't believe in all these little magic bits and stuff.
I don't know, because I get the feeling... I don't know about your extended family. Have you ever met a grandma who would have antique toys in her house? But if a grandchild or great-grandchild dared to touch it, they would get smacked upside the head. It's that behavior and idea that he criticizes by using the auditors.
Right.
That these things exist, but you must not enjoy them. These things are here, but you cannot have fun.
Yeah.
Things must be prim and proper and right. And he hates that belief and that attitude, especially towards children.
Right. As far as Susan...
I feel like Susan is humanized. She is that as a human, and she's humanized, and she learns throughout the book how to believe in things and accept that part of herself.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay. So it could very well be kind of a purposeful parallel.
It could be, but...
Her character arc becoming, able to enjoy these mystical things.
He also uses her to play with the idea of, what if you really did have a demigod? How would they go through life?
Yeah.
How could they get married and have children, or have dinner and have a cup of tea?
Yeah. Which I think in Susan's case, she just doesn't.
No, she eats and drinks. She's
I meant
normal.
the married.
Oh, yeah, I don't think she well, doesn't she fall in love with someone?
Maybe. I think that one might be in Thief of Time, and I can't remember much about that one.
Yeah, I think she
I think she falls in love with the main character of that story.
Yeah, and that one's later than this one.
Yeah.
It's funny because it mentions she tries to have a relationship a couple of times, but her hair rearranges itself, and that scares the boys away. Because when she was a lot younger, her hair was really curly, and it would turn into this huge, crazy mess. And now that she's a governess, it wraps itself into a neat bun every single day. But if a boy is putting his hands in her hair and it moves around like a kitten, he kind of runs away.
That's fun.
Susan goes to Death's house. It's mostly the same, except for the cat flap. Inside are many, many, many cats. Real ones.
Oh.
Death has done an old crazy lady and filled up his house with cats.
Oh, he's lonely.
He's lonely, and she doesn't want to come around and visit him ever.
Aww.
She denies she has a grandfather.
Yeah.
And he has filled up his house with cats, and he has a bowl that refills with cream after the cats go and drink from it, and a cat flap so they can go outside and poo in the garden.
Okay, but is he doing the cat thing because he knows that's what lonely people do, and he's just trying to figure out how to express himself?
Possibly.
Which is also sad for the same reason.
Yes.
So
yes.
I guess it effectively doesn't make a difference.
So she is like, oh my God, he he needs to go to an old folks home, but they wouldn't appreciate how he looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be the most appropriate place, but I guess it would scare the other old people.
She starts to feel really worried. She sees papers on his desk about the physics of Hogswatch. 20 million children at 2 pounds of toys per child equals 17,857 tons of toys and 1,785 tons per hour. Susan thinks he's studied humans too much. He's gone gaga. She walks into the Hall of Lifetimers and sees a room she's never seen before. Inside are hourglasses labeled Offler, the crocodile god, and the Tooth Fairy and the Sandman, and Susan laughs. Then she thinks about it. Okay, these are alive while people believe in them, and she sees a broken one labeled Hogfather. Oh no, it's true. Granddad, what have you done? Because she's imagining he went and killed the Hogfather on purpose and stole his job.
That's a much funnier idea, actually.
But from her perspective, she has no idea. Nobody knows the auditors are around or what they're doing. She's just, one day, my grandfather is pretending to be Santa. Ridcully is ready to use his new bathroom. The other wizards are anxious because it was designed by Bloody Stupid Johnson.
I love this B plot. Just trying to make a bathroom at a college.
Bloody Stupid Johnson is a famously incompetent inventor whose designs never work as planned. And the door was nailed shut. There are dozens of faucet handles. Spray, shower, and torrent are as expected. He's singing a song while Modo dwarves the cistern.
Yep.
Then Ridcully hollers and asks Modo to please gently turn off the cistern flow and put a do not use sign on the faucet labeled Old Faithful.
That's fun.
Ridcully is drying himself off when a gnome starts creeping up on him. Ridcully spins around and flicks it with his towel. The gnome is shocked that Ridcully can see him, but he is a wizard. And Ridcully wants to know what's in the bag. The gnome insists he does not want to know what's in the bag. You know how the tooth fairy takes away teeth? Well, he brings new verrucas. Ridcully is puzzled. He's heard of the tooth fairy. She's real. But he'd only ever heard his dad joke about the verruca gnome. The Arch-Chancellor feels like something is off. He's going to look into this. Vernon Crumley is a manager of the grotto in the mall. He manages the queue of children waiting to sit on the Hogfather's lap. He hires the pixies and manages the displays. He feels a shift in the air. The papier-mâché pigs explode, and real pigs, attached to the real sleigh, are in their place. Death and Albert have decided that a public appearance will definitely improve belief.
Okay.
One of the pigs pees. The children are delighted, and the mothers are horrified. Mr. Crumley is outraged, especially after his hired Hogfather quits and storms out.
He's like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
The skeleton man's going to come in here and take my job, have a better sleigh than me.
A small child is asking Death/Hogfather for presents. The mother tries to interject, and Death snaps. She shuts up. The child very quickly asks for an army, a castle, and a big sword. He pulls out of his sack a large castle, box of knights, and a 4-foot sword. The mother screams, "You can't give her a sword, it's dangerous." "It's a sword, it's not meant to be safe," replied Death. "She's a child," shouted Crumley. "It's educational." "She could cut herself." "Well, that would be an important lesson." Albert whispers to him, and he goes, "Oh, all right," and he turns the sword to wood. The mom is upset because she can't afford all of this. And Death asks, doesn't he give these gifts away? And now Crumley is outraged because a Hogfather is giving away toys in the middle of a shop. You can't give away toys at Hogswatch. Only a crowd is watching. And he realizes the toys don't look like merchandise he sells in his store. They're not his. So he has to let the Hogfather give away the toys in the middle of a toy shop.
Yep. Yeah, a bit of a commentary on commercialism. Yeah, that's fun.
Ridcully goes to Ponder Stibbins, a wizard with a magical thinking machine called Hex. Ponder has given Hex an ear and offered for the Bursar to talk to it. The Bursar is quite mad, and they thought it might help. The Bursar does talk to it and seems to have a decent conversation. Ridcully pulls the Verruca gnome out of his pocket and tells Ponder about how it seems to have popped into existence tonight. Hogswatch is a magical time, but it is a bit unusual. Ridcully muses, "You might as well wonder why we have a god of wine and not a god of hangovers." He stops. "Did anyone else hear little tiny bells?" Susan is in the library looking at books about the Hogfather. There's several shelves. The oldest book is written on a roll of animal skin. She feels the stories rather than reads them. Fur, sweat, pine, ash, blood. and beans? Susan is confused because she went here thinking jolly fat man.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that the Hogfather wears red and is jolly and fat. The Raven thinks that gods must change a lot over millennia. He used to be the god who made the sun come up in the new year, but he changed with the times. Originally, it was animal sacrifice. Kill a wren at Hogswatch and spill the blood in the snow. Then it becomes one fellow finds a bean in his soup and they call him a king for the day. Then they chase him across the snow and his blood brings the sun back. So the Hogfather just evolved over time.
Yep.
Susan goes to pick up the last book, which would be the most recent, but a flash of hooves, fear, blood, snow, and cold whip her mind, and she drops it. Wherever the Hogfather was, dead, alive, somewhere, he wanted to be left alone. The rat suggests they should go to the Castle of Bones to find out. Susan replies, "Oh, that's just a nursery story," and stops.
You know what else is just a nursery story?
What?
Podcasts without ads. They're not
what a
real.
myth.
Ads.
But not real ads.
Not real ads. Yeah, we're just tired.
I wonder if you could find, like, YouTube generic Christmas music that is not copyright, because that would be very funny to insert right there. Do that for like just 5 or 10 seconds.
I could do it for the whole episode, like the intro music and the outro music.
Oh, do Christmas music for that instead? That'd be good.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho. Back for some more Christmas commercials.
Squeak.
Tea Time and his burglars are at a strange tower/house/place. We get very vague descriptions of it early in the book. They have found and killed all the guards. So there were guards. There's the door at the top with locks that Mr. Brown can't break. He's their locksmith. The wizard has made a circle and cast a spell, but we're not given details about that. They did whatever it was they came to do, but Tea Time is obsessed with the locked door, so they don't leave. Banjo is very happy in this place, but everyone else is disconcerted. Chicken Wire and Medium Dave are trying to figure out how to leave, but they're afraid of Tea Time, and they're waiting for their $10,000. So we only get little snippets of their story along the way, and I was trying to combine some of the chunks, similar to when we've done books where you jump in time. I would try to combine some of it. But in this book, you're jumping between Susan, Death, Red Cully, these bad guys over here, and then you'll randomly catch other characters doing stuff. So I would sometimes just compress a couple pages about what these guys are doing into a couple of sentences. That way we have an idea of what's going on with everybody. Right. And then I tried to leave in when they were actually doing important stuff and give that a little bit more space.
Yeah.
Susan finds the Hogfather's Castle of Bones. I think it's similar to the North Pole. The idea of this is where he lives.
Yes. Santa lives at the North Pole and Death lives at the South Pole.
And Hogfather lives in a castle of bones, but it's called that because it's made of ice. It looks like bones, but it's gray ice.
Oh.
And Susan thinks about the fact that Hogfather kind of is a god. There's sacrifices of sherry and pork pie. There's commandments to be good. There's the judgment of whether you've been naughty or nice. And that just makes her feel very confused.
Yeah.
Because unless you've thought about it from that perspective before, most people just don't think about it that way.
Yeah. I mean, losing your belief in Santa Claus at a younger age is kind of training for atheism.
And see, my mom thought if we never believed in Santa, we would never believe our belief in God.
Yeah, if you don't start getting disillusioned, you'll never get disillusioned.
Yep. That was her idea anyway. There's foot and hoof prints, but no people. The Castle of Bones is completely empty. It feels dead. It feels dead in the way an empty mind feels dead, that hasn't been maintained and dealt with for a long time. And that's really confusing, because someone was here, obviously, recently. The Raven wonders if maybe the Hogfather crashed. Because he drinks all the time, and hogs are not aerodynamic.
I just like this little introducing a little bit of realism.
The castle groans, a column creaks and twists, and everyone's like, oh shit, this place is about to fall down.
It's not being held up by belief anymore.
Right. She hears a different groan, followed by a moan, followed by, "Oh, me." That's not a death voice. That was a different voice. Someone who was young and human-shaped lay in the snow. He looked sick. He moans that he wishes he was dead. Susan pulls him up and starts hauling him out of the castle. He moans that it feels like someone is hitting his head with a mallet. There, in his curls, is a cheerful little imp with a mallet, and he smacks the boy. Susan tells it off, but the imp is just doing its job. Can you guess who he is?
I'm guessing it's a depowered Hogfather.
No, he was mentioned previously by Redcully,
Oh, the Tooth Fairy?
the god of hangovers.
Oh.
If there's a god of wine, why isn't there a god of hangovers?
Okay. Yeah, I never would have guessed that was...
So,
I thought that was just like a one-off joke. I never would have guessed that was a
foreshadowing.
yeah, foreshadowing.
He literally is a god with a little imp on his head, hitting him in the head with a mallet, and he is just constantly vomiting.
What a horrible existence.
He agrees with you.
Yeah. Why would anyone do this?
The Castle of Bones collapses, and Susan picks him up and runs out the way. The castle dissolves into a pile of snow and just blows away like it was never there. Susan asks the boy his name. His name is Bilious. He's the god of hangovers.
That's great.
Because you never say God, you say,
oh God. God, I love that.
Bibulus is the god of wine who gets to drink all the time, but Bilious is the one who gets the hangover. Susan is confused that Bilious appeared here, and he has no idea either. He vomits. A lot. She feels bad for him and decides to take him with her because he's vaguely human-shaped and cute, and you can't just leave him in a pile of snow. We go back to that manager in the mall. Mr. Crumley is despondent. He can't get
losing
near
so much business.
Yes. He can't get near the toy department because of the mob of children. Nobby Nobbs shows up because Mr. Crumley sent a note to the watch house to come at once.
Oh yeah, he's the Gorky cop, isn't he?
Yes, he's the one who's always thieving everything, and he's very odd looking, and he has a card that proves he's human.
He's a leftover from when the Watch was just a badged crew of criminals instead of...
Yeah, and they keep him with the Watch because otherwise he would cause a lot of harm. They can manage his theft when he's in the Watch. Nobby Nobbs and Officer Visit, a devout Omnian, show up. Have you met...
yeah, I remember him.
Yeah,
he's always passing out the pamphlets for...
He is a very devout Catholic / Anglican.
Yeah. What's the god that he follows? Because it's the one that we follow in small... I think, yeah, it is And that's the god we follow in Small Gods.
Yeah. Crumley demands that they go and arrest the Hogfather because he's giving away presents of his own at Hog's Watch to the little kitties. None of which is illegal, and Nobby is confused. Nobby points out that arresting the Hogfather on Hog's Watch night in front of all these little kitties might look bad. And Crumley realizes, oh, he's right. Crumley asks if he could do it surreptitiously. And he won't be ungrateful to the corporal. And, of course, you can bribe Nobby to do anything. Right. So he's like, yes, I will do my best. Constable Visit disapproves of all of this nonsense. The fast of St. Ossory is a day for fasting and exchanging religious pamphlets and the Book of Ossory to the kids. Nobby steels himself. I'm going in, he says. There's a hammering on the door of Unreal University. Susan walks through the wood of the door carrying Bilious. Because she knocked on it and then it didn't open fast enough. So she just goes right in. She needs Ridcully's help to wake up Bilious. Ridcully remembers that she's Death's granddaughter because they met in soul music, and he's very confused because he's like, are you doing your grandfather's business? Why are you carrying a body in here? She introduces Bilious as the god of hangovers. Really? Said Ridcully. Never had one of those myself. Funny thing, I can drink all night and feel fresh as a daisy in the morning. The O-God's eyes opened. Then he soared toward Ridcully and started beating him on the chest with both fists. You utter bastard! I hate you, I hate you, I hate you! And then he passes out. The wizards take Bilious to the Great Hall and work on a hangover cure. Everyone has suggestions. Eggs, coffee, mustard, willow bark. It's an analgesic. Really? Well, possibly, though it's probably better to give it to him by mouth. Analgesic?
I was going to ask if that was a suppository, but...
Yes, it's a joke, because it's... Yeah. Analgesic means painkiller.
Okay.
But analgesic.
Yeah, I get it.
Magic would probably not leave Bilious alive or human-shaped, so they decide to take every hangover cure suggestion and mix it all up together. The hot sauce, the yogurt, the eggs, all of it. It's a bubbling purple gloop in a large bowl. Bilious doesn't want to drink it, because it looks horrid. Ridcully pulls up a looking glass and shows him what the god of wine is drinking, and it's all of it. All of the drinks ever known to man and God.
Oh.
And showing him how he's going to be feeling in a couple of hours. Bilious agrees to drink it. Ridcully adds a drop of wow sauce, known to melt and explode at random.
Oh.
Have you heard of wow sauce?
I don't think I recall that one.
It's one where after you eat it on a food, you have to sit still for 30 minutes because any sudden moves will make you explode. And the bottle literally sweats.
Oh.
They have it in a bowl of crushed ice.
God, that's so fun. I can smell that bottle.
So they pour the bottle into the hangover cure, and all of the wizards dive for cover. Ridcully gets thrown back by the fireball. The cure is glowing white and bubbling. Adding the wow sauce was what it needed. Mm-hmm. Susan is worried that it's going to kill him, and he says good and drinks up. But he doesn't explode or die. In fact, he feels great. He wants to eat some toast and eggs and drink some water.
Yeah.
They manage to create a hangover reversal spell. They look at the looking glass. Bilious gets to watch the wine god have his first good hurl.
That's fun.
Yep. Bilious wants to immediately start drinking, because now it's reversed.
Yeah.
And Susan's like, what the fuck? This is not why I brought you here. I did not bring you here so you could start drinking. Mm-hmm. He's like, well, why did you bring me here? Yeah. And she wants to know...
why he was at the castle.
Yeah, and why he was there, and what's going on, and where did he come from, and does he know about her grandfather? Because this god just showed up.
Right.
And he realizes he had never existed before. He had been a god in potentia.
Until Ridcully pointed him out.
Into existence.
That's great.
Yep.
I love that.
And Ridcully remembers talking about the god of hangovers, and everyone argues. They're like, Ridcully, you cannot create a god. Yeah. You're not that powerful.
Well, just like earlier, he mentioned the gnome of... the
Veruca gnome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, you can't do that, though. That's not something that happens. What are you talking about? And he's like, well, you know, maybe anyone can create a fairy. What about a hair loss fairy? Ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
Okay, I see what the bells are. God, I wish I would have been paying more attention when the bells are ringing now.
The dean froze. He lifts off his hat. A very small gnome is sitting on his head with clumps of hair in each hand. You're calling things into being, said Susan. Things like give the dean a huge bag of money, goblin, said the dean, thinking very quickly.
Yep. that is what you do.
Yeah. Nothing happens because it's an unlikely event and it's not an occult event. Because the only things that are happening are explanations for things that already happened.
Oh.
So there's no room in the occult for a goblin who hands out
goblin.
bags. Yes, because this is not something that has ever happened.
Gotcha.
And it's unlikely to happen.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of follows the trend of, like, how do we explain the lightning striking down from the sky? It must be a fucking guy.
Yep. Why does the milk go sour? There must be a fairy doing it.
God, I love this.
Yes.
Can we quit this episode? I just want to read the book now.
Oh, after this, you have to read the book. The bursar says he always used to wonder what would happen to his socks as a boy. Cling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. To the laundry! And the wizards ran off. Nobby Nobbs makes it to the front of the queue, but instead of arresting the Hogfather, he ends up sitting on his knee.
Aw, yeah.
Death asks if he's been good. Yes. And you want a present? Yes. And you'll be good next year? Yes. Hogfather digs through his sack and pulls out an odd-shaped package. What do you say? Thank you. And Nobby goes back to Officer Visit, who pontificates on the crass commercialization of a holy day. Nobby opens his present, and it's a genuine, burly, and strong-on-the-arm double-action crossbow.
Wow.
Nobby is overjoyed. Visit asks if they are going to arrest the imposter. You're a foreign washpot, Nobby says. I can't expect you to know the real meaning of Hogswatch.
That's a lot of fun.
And
yeah,
honestly,
I mean, you can bribe Nobby with anything.
And it's just, I wish I could read whole sections of this book. Mm-hmm. I wish I could actually convey how amazing the scenes like this are.
Yeah, I can imagine the scene, just Death sitting there with this greasy, goofy cop sitting on his knee. Have you been good this year?
Yeah. I didn't do the voice.
Yeah.
Death and Albert take off in the sleigh. Their next stop is Sarah the Little Matchstick Girl at the doorway of Thimble's Pipe and Tobacco Shop. Have you heard the story of the Matchstick Girl?
It rings a bell.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
Yeah.
Albert shakes the sack to find her present. It's a lifetimer.
What?
It's a lifetimer. That's the end of her time. Death got his job back for this minute.
Aw.
They're going to go and cut the little thread.
Yeah.
Because she's dying.
Right.
In the snow, in the doorway.
That sucks.
Death rebels. I thought it was the season to be jolly. And Albert points out that it makes people jolly to know there's people who ain't.
Damn. What the fuck is Albert's deal?
He grew up very poor and cynical.
Yeah, I think I vaguely recall Albert, but God, that's fucked.
Mm-hmm. No.
I wish it wasn't true.
Yep. Albert points out that Death can't give life, but Death replies that the Hogfather can. And he technically has Hogfather's gifts and abilities right now.
Yeah.
Albert argues and says that she'll see a white light and angels, and it's all part of Hogswatch. The little girl dying and getting angels who pick her up and take her to heaven. That's part of Hogswatch things, right? And Death thinks the angels will save her in the nick of time, and Albert is saying, no, she dies, and that's when the angels pick her up and take her to heaven. And Death is very confused.
Sitting there negotiating. No, don't make me kill this little girl, please.
Because he's getting into the spirit of this all. He's been handing out toys to little kids. And these little kids are happy to see him, which has never happened in his entire existence.
Yeah.
No one has been happy to see Death before. And now these children are looking at him in awe and admiration and fear, and he's getting a warm feeling in his non-existent heart.
Right. God, I just love the Death character. You just feel how heartfelt he is throughout the series as he continually tries to understand like human emotions and experience and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Death declares that the Hogfather gives gifts, and there's no better gift than a future. He picks her up and gives her to two people tramping through the snow. He tells them to take her somewhere warm and feed her a good dinner. Officer Visit looks down at the girl in his arms and protests about having someone dumped on him. Because he's this stingy Christian.
Yeah.
Nobby feels in his boots that it is his duty to care for her, and he promised something to someone in the grotto. So, because Nobby had said he would be good for the next year, and he couldn't really see, adults can't see death.
Yeah.
And then he couldn't really see the man who handed them this little girl. Mm-hmm. He feels like, oh, I need to be good. Yeah. Like, it actually, for one little minute, makes him a good person. Yeah. And he goes to take this little girl. Shortly afterward, there was some tinkling music and a very bright light, and two rather affronted angels appeared at the end of the alley. But Albert threw snowballs at them until they went away.
It's just so cute and charismatic.
But now I have to tell you where that story came from.
Oh, this is a reference?
This is a intense throwback to a Hans Christian Andersen story called The Little Match Girl.
What?
It is a little girl who was supposed to sell matches, and she didn't sell a single one. So instead of going home and getting beaten, she curls up in a doorway. And she lights candles, or she lights the matches to warm herself up because she's freezing to death. And every time she lights a match, she sees a vision of like a delicious roast goose. And she sees a warm jacket. And she sees beautiful little things as she scratches off these little matches.
Yep, that's a Hans Christian Andersen story.
And finally, she sees a shooting star, which her late grandmother told her meant someone is on their way to heaven. So she scratches all of the matches at one go, and her grandmother tells her she'll take care of her and love her, and when the matches go out, she dies. And people find her in the morning and feel so bad for her, but they don't know the joy and comfort she got in her last minutes from her visions. So that's why this story is saying, that's stupid. Someone should just save the fucking little girl. Hans Christian Andersen, you bastard. Because it felt familiar. I was like, I've heard that somewhere. Yeah. I know this is a reference to something.
God, that's so funny. And like heart rate, like that had to have affected Terry Pratchett a great deal for him to be like, "Fuck you, I'm saving the little girl this time."
Death is going to come in here and say no.
Yeah, even Death would say no. We're not. Would say no. We're not doing this one.
So there's like things in the book like this that I skip. Just generally, but that one I was like, this is a good example of
that's
how
a cool pull.
He has deep cuts where he makes references to things that are so obscure, and then if you look them up, you're like, oh my god, that was brilliant. That was just amazing. Rid Cully goes to see Ponder, Stibbins, and Hex. There's lots of computer jokes. There's so many computer jokes. Because Ponder, Hex the thinking machine, is a magical computer. And over time, it grows and changes and has different abilities. So he really makes a lot of fun of computer science majors. And then Rid Cully is kind of the stupid boomer who doesn't understand computers. So he shouts at it and is very silly. And it's very fun.
Yeah. Just everybody catching strays in this book.
Oh, he makes fun of everyone.
The tax accountants, the computer majors.
And I mean, the Wizards is just making fun of all of academia.
Yeah.
Hex tells him that humans believe things and aren't always wrong, and the universe needs a reboot. All of these little fairies they are creating are believable. Because he's like, why are these things popping up and appearing right now? And Hex is trying to explain in computer speak that this is how it is, kind of, in a weird roundabout way, because we can't spoil the ending of the story yet.
Yeah. So it's like the universe hasn't actually came up with an answer to these questions yet. Right. So it's just coming up with an answer until it comes up with a better answer later on. Yeah. And that's the science that comes in. It's a post facto coming up with scientific answers after the magical ones. God, I love this universe.
Yeah, me too. Susan tells Bilious all about her grandfather and her worries about him playing the Hogfather. And where Bilious popped into existence 5 minutes ago, he doesn't have a lot of preconceived ideas. He knows what milk is, and he knows he would like a drink of it, but he's never experienced having a drink of milk. You know what I mean? Yeah. He has some of these...
He's got knowledge, but he doesn't have experience.
Yes. And she asks him what he remembers, and he's certain that he's existed, but he was disembodied. And Susan realizes that Bilious appeared in a place where someone who should be wasn't. A shudder runs through her body. What's he doing? And I think she's feeling death give the matchstick girl life. And because he's breaking the role of death and he didn't, she's getting pulled into death's role. Because he's rejecting his role as the Reaper Man. Yeah. She has to fill in that space. And she's getting furious because she's like, what is he doing? He's making me get pulled into it.
God, I love that cause and effect, though. And just playing with the already established lore and stuff like that. We scheduled this one out to be like a 9-hour episode, right?
It's just so fun.
Yeah. Gosh, I just want to talk about all of them.
Okay. Death and Albert are flying on after the matchstick girl, and they are having an argument. Death is feeling this warm glow of happiness because he did something nice. And Albert is feeling very grumpy because they're breaking the rules and not doing their job.
Yeah.
And Death is like, why are you being grumpy? It's Christmas and we did a nice thing. Albert just wants everything to go back to normal because he's been doing this job for 900 years or something like that. And he's like, things go wrong when you start fiddling with stuff, but he's the master, so he can't exactly tell him off, right? But the Hogfather can change things. With many a merry ho, ho, ho. The real meaning of Hogswatch, Albert. What, you mean that the pigs and cattle have all been slaughtered, and with any luck everyone's got enough food for the winter? Well, some wretched devil's had his head chopped off in a wood somewhere because he found a bean in his dinner? Not exactly that. Oh, you mean that they've chased down some poor beast and shot arrows into their apple trees, and now the shadows are going to go away. That is definitely a meaning, but... then you're talking about the one where they light a bloody big bonfire to give the sun a hint and tell it to stop lurking under the horizon and do a proper day's work. Because he's so old... And from previous generations, he has previous generations' idea of what the winter god would do. And the idea is he brings the sun back.
Yeah. It's kind of like... I'm trying to think of a parallel. Okay, I'm going to use Pokemon.
Okay.
It's like starting from the beginning and seeing all of the various generations of Pokemon as they come out. And then you see these new ones and they're just ice cream cones and bags of garbage. And you're just like, yeah, I guess.
And this isn't what I played with when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's different now. But, I mean, it's always been like that. And, I mean, some people just look at new Pokemon, they're just like, it's stupid now, but it was always stupid. I love Pokemon, but it's always been a little dumb.
So Albert is just saying the point of the Winter Solstice Festival is bringing the sun back. That is what humanity based this on, right? That's the real meaning of Christmas. Real meaning of Hogswatch. Very well, then. The Hogfather can teach people the unreal meaning of Hogswatch. Albert spat over the side of the sleigh. Ha! Wouldn't it be nice if everyone was nice, eh? There are worst battle cries.
Just a very optimistic death.
Yeah, and he is coming at it from that very modern, Christmas is supposed to be nice music and parties with friends and isn't everything nice. And we ignore all of the bad things that are going on and poor people and things that are not nice.
Yeah, even though historically it's about carousing the streets and setting shit on fire on Saturnalia.
Susan turns to Bone and then turns back. Because she is hanging on to her humanity with a thread. And she turned away, but Bilius kind of saw her face and got a little scared. They're both kind of like, it's okay. We're okay. It passed. And she's like, do you remember anything? Anything useful? And he says he has a vague memory of teeth. She's like, chewing you up? He's like, no. Teeth. Teeth are just important.
Oh, Tooth Fairy.
Bilius doesn't know about the Tooth Fairy, so she kind of explains it to him. And fairies, because it's a franchise. There's not a Tooth Fairy, there's Tooth Fairies now. There's a whole group of girls who get a ladder and pliers, and they go out and they have a list, and they collect the teeth, and they turn them into the Tooth Fairy. And it occurs to Susan that she doesn't know where the teeth go, because in this magical world, an actual Tooth Fairy is taking your teeth and giving you money, and they have to go somewhere and do something.
Right.
It's not a parent taking it and then throwing it away. And the wizards think that little household gods are coming back. Because the idea is, if everyone had little household gods that made the bread rise and the butter churn and explained the lightning and these other little things, and now something is gone, now we're getting little gods of warts and baldness and hangovers. So it seems like something has changed, and now we're getting all of these little gods back.
Yeah.
Who have little powers and things. Death gets called on a death job. A corpse is laying on top of Unseen University. There was nowhere to fall from, and he'd been stabbed. The spirit shouted, the spirit of the body, shouted, "They got the teeth! All of them! They just walked in!" And he faded away. Albert notices a badge on his shirt shaped like the drawing of a tooth. So we're kind of starting to get the mystery.
Right, starting to unravel.
It has to do with teeth. Yes. Something has happened with teeth. Susan goes down to Beers and asks Igor if he's seen Violet, the tooth girl, lately. This is a girl that Susan would sometimes see and be friendly with in Beers.
Yeah.
Igor refuses, so Susan uses her death voice on him, and he spits out the truth. And he's livid because it's breaking decorum. You don't go into Beers and fuck with the bartender.
That wasn't very nice.
Did you ever read about how he's not a real Igor?
No, they're sort of a race?
Yes. Igors are a race.
Yeah,
but
there are
he's
Igors
not a
and...
real Igor.
Oh.
He's a pretend Igor.
Oh.
He's actually a human.
Huh. Does he still do the surgery stuff?
I think he has, like, fake scars.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because if you joke about it with him and ask him to put your head back on, he gets very angry because he's not a real Igor. And you're not supposed to point it out.
Huh. So this particular Igor at Unseen University...
Beers.
Oh, at Beers. Okay. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, but he tells them where Violet's room is. So they go to Violet's room. It's empty and normal and small, and she's not there. Susan finds the notebook that has all of the upcoming teeth for the week and flips through it. She goes to the last page that got marked off. They read off the names of normal children, their nicknames and addresses until they get to the last one. Reginald Lillywhite, a.k.a. Banjo, the Park Lane Bully, a.k.a. Have You Seen This Man, Room 17, YMCA, but pagan. It's obvious that Violet hasn't been in for a while. There's a knock on the door. It's Violet and Ernie's supervisor, worried because Ernie hasn't been back with the car all week, and Violet hasn't brought in any teeth. He isn't very helpful, but Susan does get Violet's last name, Butler. So they go down to the YMCA to see Banjo's room. His room is small, clean, and he hasn't been there either since the night Violet visited. On the nightstand is a cardboard book for small children, which has been read frequently. Susan and Bellius go to Death's house to visit the library. They find Violet Bottler's book, and Susan reads it. Because there's the autobiographies, like every person who's ever lived has a book in the library, and it tells their whole life. And if they're still alive, it's currently being written in as time goes by. So she reads it, and Violet is in a sort of prison. She had gotten Banjo's tooth, then there was a hood over her head, and a ride on a cart, and they went to a place that looked like a weird house on the outside, but a tall white tower on the inside. Fish were swimming on top of a stream, and the sky was only above, not on the horizon. Susan thinks about it. It's a child's drawing. Have you ever seen a kid's drawing? The sky is blue, but it's only on the top, like, quarter of the page.
Yeah.
And the sun is just a yellow ball. And you can see the fish on top of the blue creek or whatever. And the house is square with 4 windows.
Right.
And Susan realizes that Violet has been taken to this place that is essentially a child's drawing.
Yeah. So when someone is using child imagination powers to steal people. Or steal this tooth fairy at the very least.
Susan realizes that if Violet has an autobiography, that means she's alive, and therefore mortal, and therefore Susan can find her. Because she has some of Death's powers, she can find any person if she knows their name.
Yeah.
Bellius follows her because he doesn't have anything better to do. His hangover is currently cured, and he's bored. And there's really nothing for him to do at Unseen University.
Yeah.
Death and Albert go to a very poor little shack. The little boy wants trousers he doesn't have to share, a meat pie, sweets, toys, and a puppy. Death is frustrated because he wants to give the boy what he wants, but Albert hands him an apple and a wooden toy from the sack. "Yes, well, see, it's socioeconomic factors again, right?" said Albert.
Okay, so yeah, it's it's explaining why poor kids only get poor people gifts.
And Death points out that he gave kids what they wanted at the shop. And Albert says, yeah, and that's going to cause a lot of trouble. It's the hope that matters more than the getting. You promise jam tomorrow. You don't give jam today. That's the way gods work. And that's the way Hogswatch works, is you hope for pretty presents. It's not the getting them that is the important thing. And Death is very frustrated because this is not fair.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Susan digs through an umbrella stand and pulls out a sword. You can't see the blade because it's so sharp. So it's a death sword.
Yeah.
They get on Binky, and Death's horse can go anywhere. So they're going off to find the child's painting place. Ponder Stibbins and Ridcully are talking to Hex. Hex says, the amount of belief in the world must be subject to an upper limit. Meaning, there's a limit to how many things a person or people can believe. Right? You can only have so much stuff you believe in and trust, and then other stuff just becomes nonsense.
Right.
Creatures appear that are believed in and disappear when no longer believed in. Therefore, if a major focus of belief is removed, there will be spare belief sloshing around, mucking up the place. The wizards bicker, and it's pretty funny. It's several pages of bickering.
Yeah.
They complain about all of the boring and annoying things about Hogswatch. Ridcully remarks that maybe it's the Hogfather that's gone and left unused belief, since everyone has such a long face and they're not behaving in an appropriately jolly way. Ridcully, he's just some old winter god, said the senior wrangler wearily. He's not the cheerful fairy or anything. You want to make the gling-a-ling-a-ling noise?
Gling-a-ling-a-ling.
And sure enough, the cheerful fairy arrives, and is short and plump and sensible, and she does her absolute best to cheer up the wizards with board games and hide and seek, and if that fails, there's a chicken, or bluebird of happiness on her shoulder.
Oh, it's Lily.
We don't want to be Mr. Grumpy, do we? She asked. Yes, said the senior wrangler, who was sulking. She pulls out a handkerchief and starts crying.
It is Lily.
The wizard spent nearly the rest of the book trying to cheer her up. Except for Ponder Stibbins and Ridcully, who investigate if the Hogfather is gone by going to the librarian's room, seeing his stocking is empty, and waiting by the hearth. So I skipped this little tangent byline. There's lots of adventures and lots of very funny, silly things that happen with the cheerful fairy and the romantic arc with one of the wizards, and it's very cute and funny. Just know it's there to be read and enjoyed.
Yeah.
There's a group of beggars in Ankh-Morpork. They are named the Duckman, Arnold Sideways, Coffin Henry, Fell Old Ron, and Fell Old Ron's dog. They are anti-caroling.
Oh, God. What the fuck is anti-caroling?
Because it's more of a din. Each person is singing their own separate type of song. And they go and stop in front of houses so that people will pay them to go away.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. What I was thinking initially made way less sense. I thought they were going to go and force other people to carol at them.
Oh, no. People pay them to go away.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So even through all of their craziness and hollering, they can feel a change in the atmosphere. And they vaguely hear Death and Albert arguing in the sky up above. There's a rain of Hogswatch feast all around them. Sugar pegs, potted shrimp, crackers, the fun kind you pull, sausages, and a whole roast pig fall out of the sky all around them. The group had been heading to their Hogswatch feast of old boots and mud. Instead, they're going to have a feast fit for rich old buggers. High over the city, Albert turned to Death, who seemed to be trying to avoid his gaze. You didn't get that stuff out of the sack. Not cigars and peaches and brandy and grub with fancy foreign names. Yes, it came out of the sack. Albert gave him a suspicious look. But you put it in the sack in the first place, didn't you? No. You did, didn't you?
No.
You put all those things in the sack. No. You got them from somewhere and you put them in the sack. No. You did put them in the sack, didn't you? No. You put them in the sack. Yes. I knew you put them in the sack. Where did you get them? They were just lying around. Whole roast pig does not
petulant Death.
Does not just lie around. No one seemed to be using them, Albert. A couple of chimneys ago, we were over at that big posh restaurant. Really? I don't remember. And it seemed to me you were down there a bit longer than usual, if you don't mind me saying so. Really? You nicked someone's Hogswatch dinner!
God, I love Death shenanigans.
So Death has stolen an entire Hogswatch feast, and he redistributed it. But he made sure the kitchen wasn't empty when he left. Susan and Bilious find the place. It's unnerving. It's a child's painting. Blue sky, blue river, green grass, yellow sun. Bilious is starting to feel hungover again. At a certain restaurant that had just felt a cold breeze, the roast pig is gone. The potatoes are gone. In their place, in the ovens and pantry and cabinets, are boots and mud. And lots of screaming and cursing. Until the manager remembers that they are a French, Quirmian restaurant. And if they call it mousse de la beurre dans une panière de la pâte chasseur, mud mousse in a basket of choux pastry, and they can charge $20 a plate. It goes so well and is so popular that the manager takes all of the staff's footwear before the end of the night.
Wow.
So they literally feed rich old people boots and mud and charge them a lot of money for it.
Commentary.
Yep. On French cuisine. Tea Time's gang members are hauling bags of money downstairs in the tall white castle. There's bags of gold and boxes of title deeds. The Tooth Fairy owns many shops in Ankh-Morpork and uses the rent to pay for the teeth.
Huh.
Because it's real money.
Right.
And it can't be magic money. That would disappear. And how else is she going to get cash? She owns property.
Surprisingly realistic, this Tooth Fairy.
She is real.
Yeah. Okay.
She hires people and has to pay them too. So she makes money off of rent and investments in property.
Huh.
Yep. The gang members grumble about how they're getting shorted because this is hundreds of thousands of dollars in gold, and they're each only getting $10,000. Tea Time hears them and holds a knife to Medium Dave's eyes, and Banjo doesn't do a thing. Normally, Banjo and Medium Dave are tight, and
but Banjo got his shit smacked earlier, so he's scared now.
And now he only respects Tea Time.
Right.
Because Tea Time's the one that smacked him in the mouth. After putting Dave in his place, he admits that he doesn't care about the gold and they can split it among themselves. He just them disrespecting him was the problem, not them being greedy. You know, he wants to be respected as the leader of the gang.
Right.
And them trying to steal some of the money is disrespecting him. Chicken Wire is creeped out by all of the teeth and the castle and all of it, and he wants to go home.
That's fair.
Back at UU, there's a patter of soot in the fireplace. Ponder and Ridcully look up and see Death impersonating the Hogfather. Who the hell are you? I'm the Hogfather, of course. Ho, ho, ho. And Ridcully points out he's awfully thin, so the Hogfather insists he's just been ill. And it's a false beard. Ridcully demands to know what happened to the real Hogfather. I suppose I must tell you. In the House of Death, there's a whisper of sand and... I don't know what that was.
A whisper of sand.
There's a whisper of sand and glass and the smell of snow and the thud of hooves. Tea Time checks in on Sydney the Wizard and Mr. Brown the Locksmith. This lock is half magic and half real. Mr. Brown can't unlock magic locks. Tea Time has no further use for him, so Banjo throws him down the stairs. Medium Dave and Chicken Wire and Peachy are arguing downstairs when a body goes flying by. Chicken Wire and Peachy are starting to act like small children. They're sticking out their tongues and going, nah, 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 nah.
Okay, so something's affecting them to make them act more childish. Is it just them being around tea time?
No, it's the castle.
Because of the teeth?
No, because it's the castle. The castle is inside the house, inside the child's painting.
Oh.
Because they are inside a child's place.
Right, so they're going, yeah, okay.
And it kind of reverts everyone to their childhood state.
Right.
But Banjo was already childlike.
Yeah.
And he is enjoying being here because it feels comfortable and like home.
Yeah, as well as tea time because,
he's also childlike in a messed up way.
Yeah.
But everyone else who is a grown adult at 45 years old is creeped out.
Starting to revert back to...
And they grew up with really awful childhoods. So they're starting to turn into their little nasty bully selves. So one of them looks at the other and says, liar, liar, pants on fire. And his pants catch on fire.
Oh, no.
And Chicken Wire sucks his thumb. And Cat's Eye tells him the big monster with scissors is going to come and get him.
Oh, no.
Dave pulls everyone together to go downstairs and see if Mr. Brown is okay. He didn't look okay, but it's something to go do. Susan and Bilius are at the house that is also the castle. So it's a house on the outside and a castle on the inside. And they go in the front door. There's a large conical heap of teeth in the middle of the floor. Children's teeth. And Susan feels like this is very untidy and not how the Tooth Fairy would do it. She hears shouts above, and a body comes rolling off the stairs. And then poof, it disappears, leaving behind a crowbar and a smear of blood. So, for children, people don't really die. They just disappear, and you never see them again.
Yeah.
And so in this world, it's ruled by child logic.
Right.
So when people die, they just disappear and go poof. Peachy and Dave head downstairs towards the intruders. So they look over the inside of the tower is stairs that are going in this
Helix.
And there's several different staircases and they don't actually intersect with each other. So you can run up one staircase and someone else can come down a different one and you don't see each other because it's a magical castle. Yeah. But you can look over the side of the stairs down into the middle because the middle is just a big empty hole. It's just like this big tube with staircases only going around these sides. And then there's rooms in this wall of the castle.
Okay.
So the center is hollow, like a tube.
Yeah.
You have staircases, and then you have outside rooms that are in the wall on the outside of the stairs. Peachy and Dave head downstairs toward the intruders, and Chicken Wire heads up to talk to Tea Time. And he tells Tea Time that there's people here, and he's like, just kill them? But one of them's a girl. Then go do it politely. Because that's Tea Time's solution to everything. You just kill everyone.
Yeah.
Chicken Wire starts running downstairs, but he hears a door creak. He screams and runs faster.
Is it the scissors monster?
It doesn't make a door creaking sound. It makes a snip, snip sound.
Ah, of course. What was I thinking?
And there's shadows in the castle now. So previously, it was very bright white. And now there's in the walls... There's little shadows moving around. Susan is running up the stairs, dragging Bilius, and mumbling about the power in the teeth in the circle. Because she knows what's going on, but we don't know yet.
Okay.
Chicken Wire and Medium Dave and Cat's Eye make it to the bottom of the tower, and Chicken Wire tries to bolt. He tries to, get through the front door and run away. Medium Dave grabs him, and Chicken Wire explains that it sounded like the wardrobe from his room when he was a kid, and it scared him and it would whisper. So this spooks Cat's Eye, because all of their childhood nightmares are suddenly feeling very real. Cat's Eye remembers the dark cellar. He's starting to feel scared of darkness. They realize that Susan and Bilius got past them on the other staircase, so they each take a different staircase to go upstairs and try to catch Susan and Bilius. So Dave has got them organized enough to go hunt down the intruders. Susan finds a room full of display cabinets, and there's cards with names and ages, but the teeth are gone. So she realizes someone came through all of these rooms with all of these millions of teeth, took one out of each little drawer, and piled them up in this huge pile downstairs in the middle of the tower. Quote, "It's such an old magic, it isn't even magic anymore," she explains. If you've got a piece of someone's hair or a nail clipping or a tooth, you can control them. The heap of teeth is millions of children, and by having a piece of them and doing magic on it, you can control the children.
Oh.
Do you remember that part of Discworld lore? People have to save their nail clippings and you can't get a piece of their hair or you'll do stuff with them?
That sounds like something I've heard, but so many of those little details you just pass right along by, and, this world is weird and funny, and...
That's actually something people believe in our world too.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm sure I've heard something about that throughout reading these stories.
Yeah. Dave, Cat's Eye, and Chicken Wire. I just was imagining a Bugs Bunny cartoon of this one's running up, this one's running down, this one's running in, this one's running out.
They're doing the hallway thing from Scooby-Doo.
Cat's Eye goes around a corner, and the darkness solidifies and jumps on him. Susan hears a scream and looks around the corner, and there's a pair of boots and shadows melting away. So Cat's Eye is gone. He's down.
Okay.
Susan thinks about this place. It's a children's place. People don't die, they disappear. And so she's trying to mentally figure out the rules of this place. Because she thinks about her grandfather's house, and it has certain rules. He has plumbing, but there's no water because... Death never takes a bath.
Right.
But he has a scrub brush there because that's what you would have on a tub, and he never sleeps, but he has a bedroom. And so there's these rules and each place is unique and has its own rules. So she is mentally looking for Violet, the Tooth Fairy, trying to avoid these ruffians, and mentally figuring out what's going on.
Yeah, trying to figure out the rules of the game as she's going along.
Yeah. They find Violet. She's tied up. They untie her. And Bilious looks at her and wants to know if Violet ever drinks alcohol. Because, of course, that's his number one question about a person. And she never does. So it's love at first sight.
Ah.
Violet warns Susan about Banjo and Tea Time and the other thugs. And Bilious insists that they need to get Violet out of here. So now he can be the hero and take Violet and escape, and they can have their own little romantic thing.
Yeah.
Medium Dave finds Cat's Eye's boots, but not the rest of him. So now he's going, okay, what's going on here, too? It seems like a lot of the rules of this place don't really start happening until all these people show up. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand how that works.
Well, it might be kind of like Schrodinger's cat. All of these rules and stuff don't start applying until there is an observer. So the more observers there are, the more rules are going to be applied.
That's possible.
So could be something adjacent to that. I don't know.
Oh, I do have one other theory that we'll have to come back to.
Okay.
Something else did occur to me. Susan, Bilious, and Violet start to go downstairs, but are caught by Peachy. He points a crossbow at them. And for a moment there, Bilious is like, I'm a god, you can't kill me. And Susan is like,
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if that's true here. Because she couldn't go through a door. She had to open a door and walk in.
Yeah.
And she's tried to fade, and she couldn't fade. So none of her powers are working.
Yeah.
And she's kind of concerned that none of his are going to work either.
Yeah.
That he's just human here.
Does his bravado get him through the moment, or does he get shot?
He touches the crossbow bolt and says, oh, that's sharp. And so that he listens. Because he is a brand new baby god. He's never dealt with actually getting hurt by something that's not a hangover before.
Yeah.
Peachy starts marching them upstairs, but there's the noise of clicking blades. It's the scissors man.
Yep.
The monster who comes to cut off the thumbs of naughty children who keep sucking their thumbs.
Jesus Christ, who the fuck made that up? Peachy's parents are fucked up.
You know what's funny is, well, Bilious and Violet run down while Peachy's distracted, and Peachy takes off behind them because of the scissor man. And it's an ostrich/lizard-shaped thing that walks up and it looks at Susan. And she remembers him because he came after Twyla one time. Because the previous governess told Twyla if she didn't stop sucking her thumb, the scissors man was going to come and cut off her thumbs.
Oh.
And Susan is like, I remember you. I remember using the poker on you. You must have took forever to sharpen up after that. Yeah. And so it kind of like sidles sideways and is like, bye, and it chases after Peachy.
That's fun. Yep.
So Susan runs toward the top of the tower, because that's where all the stuff is happening. Sydney, the student wizard, is slowly getting through the locks, because they're magical, mostly. Medium Dave tries to tell Tea Time that there's trouble, but Tea Time just tells him to kill everyone that gets in the way. I've already told you this. Just kill everybody. And Dave tells him that Violet got away, but Tea Time thought she'd been already killed, because he had told them to kill everyone. But the thing is, Medium Dave is against hurting girls, because his ma'am told him never to hurt a girl. You never hit a girl. The only moral that Ma Lillywhite beat into Dave and Banjo is you don't touch girls. Bilious and Violet head outside, and he is smitten. So when she asks what kind of god he is, he thinks very quickly and tells her he's self-employed. She wants to know what that means, and he says, well, if another god takes a day off, Bilious takes care of things for them that day. And Violet is very impressed and sorry for him that he's filling in for the god of hangovers. They go around a corner, and Chicken Wire holds a sword to Bilious's neck. None of his god powers work here, but then there's a creak. There's a wardrobe, and Chicken Wire gets pulled inexorably into the wardrobe.
Oh.
Because that was his childhood nightmare.
Right.
The door snaps shut. Bilious runs to it to save him, because he feels sorry for the guy, even though he was about to chop his head off.
Right.
But inside is just a pair of boots.
Huh. How come boots aren't... Or is the boot thing relevant? Because everybody that gets caught by their fears leaves their boots.
I don't know. I don't know if it's for humor or...
I mean, that is kind of funny.
It is funny, and I think it's to show the other characters that somebody is now gone.
Yeah.
How else would you show a different character that this person is now dead?
Yeah, I guess that's
Because you
fair.
can't have a dead body because of the rules of this world.
Maybe children just don't think about whether corpses get buried in shoes.
Could be.
Do people get buried with their shoes on?
I will be. I'll put it in my will.
Yeah, that's fair.
Death tries to explain why he's running around as the Hogfather, because he got caught by Ponderstebbins and Ridcully.
Mm-hmm.
The Hogfather has not been killed exactly, but has been greatly reduced. The auditors of reality are using people to get rid of messy beliefs. But the Hogfather has to be believed in on the shortest day of the year, and there must be enough belief so that the sun will come up.
Okay, yeah.
And the wizards are horrified. I seldom joke, said Death. Because they're like, what? No way. The bursar in another room screams. In fact, he was in his own room, and a dead man fell out of his wardrobe just now. A ruffian-looking fellow with no boots and a pocket full of teeth.
Which is fucking nonsense to him.
Right. Because it's kind of playing on the idea of you walk into a wardrobe and you'll go to a magical place. Mm-hmm. But I guess they're connected. And that's why he heard voices whispering in the night. Was there was two wardrobes that were actually magically connected. Death wants to see Hex, the thinking machine, privately. Death asks it if the sun will come up if Hogfather is not believed in. No. Death instructs Hex to believe in the Hogfather. Hex believes in the Hogfather and starts to write a letter. And Death is like, no, you can't. And it says...
I'm just imagining... I know that probably wasn't the intention at the time, but I'm just imagining telling ChatGPT to believe in Santa, and it's just like, honestly, I now believe in Santa. I want something for Christmas.
It reads so much like ChatGPT. Yeah. Like, he was so future-seeing with this.
Oh, that's funny.
Death points out that machines have no desires, and the sack will not recognize most of the things on the list. But he tries. How old are you? But he can't put it on his knee. Yeah. Susan gets to the top floor and peers over the edge of the top stair. She sees Banjo and Sydney working on the locks, and then a voice breathes, "Hello," in her ear. Tea Time is next to her and pulls out Death's sword before she can even move. He knows she's Susan Stow-Hillet, granddaughter to Death. He studied all of the stuff about royalty and things, but he also has read myths and things, and he believes in them. So he understands all of these occult things.
Yeah.
The wizard realizes the locks are based on Wadley's occult sequence, which means Tea Time has no further use for him. He introduces himself to Susan. Jonathan Bibliotomy. She thinks about it. You mean like around 4 o'clock in the afternoon? No, I did say Bibliotomy. He's patient because he only gets annoyed at important things. Sydney finishes the 6th lock, and Tea Time says the 7th one will be opened by pure white light. And Sydney is dismissed. He runs like hell because
everyone else is died.
If they're no longer needed, they get killed. Yeah. So he takes off.
So who does that leave left? Banjo
and Medium Dave.
Okay.
Tea Time and Susan. Sydney is running down the stairs. But then the stairs turn to flagstones, and he ends up in a schoolyard that he got bullied in as a kid. And there's a big tree that the bully hid behind, and he's a little boy with long, pretty curls again.
Aww. This is just sad.
Yeah. I think he ends up probably getting killed by the bully, but we don't return him.
Yeah.
Susan confronts Tea Time about controlling children with their teeth. Death won't be able to rescue her from Tea Time, and she demands to know if he thinks he'll get away with it. And he's like, do people actually say that? You'll never get away with this? He gloats. I've gotten away with it. No more Hogfather. And that's only the start. There's a rumble. Banjo looks up. What's this? He said. There's always got to be a Hogfather. Of course, Banjo believes in all of this stuff, and nobody has told him any different.
Ah.
And now Tea Time has just said, there's no more Hogfather in front of the giant man who has the mind of a little child.
He's going to be very upsetty.
He's very, very mad. Tea Time points at Susan. She did it, he said. She killed him. And Susan is outraged at, how could you accuse me of this? Susan tells him that Hogfather isn't dead, but sick. And is, like, trying to, like, be this reasonable thing. And then Medium Dave tries to get Banjo to leave with him because he's sick and tired of all this magic and shenanigans and mess, and he just wants to get the hell out of here. And Susan sees all of these little shadows bouncing around everybody because it's all of this belief and stuff bouncing around everyone's heads and trying to get in and pick out what their nightmares are. And she sees it bounce away from Tea Time, and it's gathering around Medium Dave and Banjo. Tea Time tells Banjo to grab Susan. He steps toward her and then stops. Our ma'am said not to hit girls, he rumbled. Susan sees the shadows darting around in the floor and waits. Susan starts to tease Tea Time.
With his mom?
No, because we don't know about Tea Time's mom. Banjo
Tea Time.
And Medium Dave are the one with the big scary mom. Instead, she teases him about how he was the crazy kid with no friends. And no one was willing to play with him. And he was the boy who would look up dolls' dresses. And he starts whining, I didn't.
That was really funny.
And Banjo looks really worried. Our ma'am said, because if he was looking up dolls' dresses, he was being bad. And Tea Time whips around, oh, to blazes with your ma. Dave pulls out his sword, because no one talks about their ma'am that way. Our ma'am, and then the gray shadows coalesce into this towering, huge woman holding a handful of switches. And she starts raging at Dave for letting Banjo get into trouble. Banjo cries because his ma's there shouting at him. And David grips his chest and sags and then disappears.
He just has a heart attack. That's fun.
Susan turns to punch Tea Time, but he grabs her wrist and pulls her hair down really hard. And she screams. Then there's a thump and Tea Time goes flying. Ma says no pulling girls' hair. Because Banjo is torn between
being afraid of his mom and
following Tea Time and not hitting girls. She turns and shoves at Tea Time, and they're at the top of the stairs, like the banister, and he goes flying over the banister, and he grabs her, and she gets pulled over the banister. So then she's hanging on, and he pulls out his sword to stab at her, and then she kicks his face, and he falls down into the pile of teeth, and poof, disappears. So Banjo reaches down and grabs her and pulls her over the banister, and the last lock on the door clicks open. Banjo is now the last one of the whole gang, and he's very confused. It wasn't his ma'am. That was his mom who was there. And now David is gone, and his mom's gone, and he's really sad, and he just wants to go home. And Susan doesn't know what to do with him. So she gets out a handkerchief, and she wipes his face, and she tells him to just go sweep all of the teeth out of the circle. So he goes off to do that because he can do very simple things, and she's the only person around to give him something to do.
Right.
Susan walks into the room that had been locked. There's a bed with an old grandma. No, said Susan. It changes shape. No. It changes again. No, wrong. None of this is frightening, and none of it is real. She finally grabs the thing, and it looks like a small wizened monkey. It's the bogeyman. The first bogeyman. The dark in the caves. The first nightmare. Then fire came, and it drove away the darkness, and people forgot the old, real, primal terror that was darkness. And then people forgot about that, and they had houses and lights, and they weren't scared of the dark like they used to be. And what was the point anymore? This job wasn't fun anymore. But human children were interesting. The ancient beliefs and magic was still in their heads. So she started watching them, collecting teeth, and paying for them, because otherwise it's theft, and it's not right. And eventually it was a big business, and she was able to watch them and be part of their little world and build up belief and gain a huge amount of power, and that was her new job.
Huh. So the boogeyman, the original boogeyman, became the Tooth Fairy.
To have a new job and evolved to become a new god.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Isn't that cool?
That's so creative. I love that.
I know, me too. And eventually it was a big business and she had to outsource. So she hired fairies and hired a cart and hired people to run it for her.
I mean, that explains why it's not just done magically and it's, run like an actual business and has like physical properties to it, like having to engage with money.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, isn't that clever?
That's so neat.
But eventually, she got really old. She's been around for millennia at this point. And she's very tired, but she couldn't die because this place, nobody dies. But because the door got unlocked and she finally told her story to Susan, she kind of groans and then disappears and fades away. Susan thinks about it. She goes and she finds Banjo. And she asks him if he likes it here. And he does. Asks if he can count. He can count up to 13 and holds up his fingers. Good grief, said Susan. She tells him he can do the Tooth Fairy's job until the Tooth Fairy comes back. Because you don't necessarily have to have the original boogeyman to do it.
The system pretty well works on its own at this point.
And it's all run on this belief already.
Yeah.
There's already the gold coming in from the properties. There's already the carts that bring in food for the guards. They just need someone to be there to run it. And he's already comfortable and happy there.
Yeah.
He says sure, and he wants a puppy. And she says, a puppy will show up soon. She's pretty sure it'll just show up. And she finds Bilious and Violet and tells them to help Banjo. Not boss him around, because everyone's bossed him around forever. Just help him run the business.
Yeah.
Susan is worried that with people believing in the Hogfather again, Bilious will disappear. Because he came out of that unused belief pool.
He's part of the vacuum. Or he's taking up the vacuum of belief.
But he says he's going to continue his job as holiday relief for other gods. And Susan thinks maybe Violet's belief will be enough.
Aww. It's so cute.
I know. The auditors have failed. They buzz around miserably. But if no one auditor is responsible, no one can be held responsible. Stands to reason. There's no evidence, nothing written down. One thinks, well, we may have to take a risk. Because they're trying to figure out, can they actually finish what they started? Or should they just give up when they're still ahead?
Right.
Susan rides Binky and tries to go home. On the way there, Death stops at her and climbs on. She's like, it's all over. I'm tired. I want to go to bed. And Death says that they only kept space for the Hogfather. He's not dead, but he has to be brought back. Susan must bring him back. And Susan doesn't care about Hogwatch and Hogsfather and all of that mess. She just doesn't care. No, so that the sun will rise. What does astronomy have to do with the Hogfather? Old gods do new jobs. So then it's like, okay, there's stakes. Now we finally have stakes. Now I'll finally bloody care. Because she's still sensible Susan.
Yeah.
Why should she care if an old god is dead or not?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter to her.
Unless the fate of humanity is at stake.
Right. If there's no sun tomorrow, now it matters. Death explains to Susan about the auditors. How they hate life, but especially humanity. The Hogfather symbolizes all that is messy about humanity. So they fly to the snowy plain that is like the embodiment of Hogswatch, Christmas place. Dogs, auditors, are chasing a pig. So they're coming across this scene down on the snowy plain, and there's dogs chasing this pig. And this is one of the original Hogfather story arcs, was a pig getting chased and getting killed. And that brought back the sun.
Oh.
But Death says that if the auditors catch the Hogfather, they will actually destroy him as these ghost dog things, and he will actually be really gone. That they're breaking the rules this time. Right now, they're actually really, truly breaking the rules.
Yeah, acting directly.
So he is allowed to interfere now. Because they broke the rules, he gets to break the rules. So he basically throws Susan onto the back of the pig. And she rides him across the landscape, and because she's sitting up and she's taller, she can see where the pig needs to run to avoid getting run off the cliff. Because the dogs are trying to run him off a cliff so he'll get broken and die. Or catch him, like, at the edge and actually tear him apart. They're able to jump a gap between two cliffs, and they go rolling off in the snow, and she turns around and the dogs are trying to jump the little gap So she picks up a stick and she's hitting all of the dogs that jump. Because they've embodied dogs, they now start to feel a want. They have a thing they want. And that creates mortality. And so when she hits them and they fall down below,
they die.
They die. So then the dogs turn around to go a different way. But there is a large snowman in their way. A row of snowmen are blocking them. One is holding a curved stick.
Is it a hockey puck or a hockey stick?
The snow broke off the snowman in chunks, revealing a gaunt figure in a flapping black robe. Death spat out the carrot. Ho, ho, ho. I love that visual. Death is a snowman and then he just busts out.
If any of our listeners have ever played Elden Ring, I keep imagining Death's voice as Morgott, if you know who that is.
Hopefully other people get that, because I don't
maybe.
get that.
Elden Ring's pretty popular. Someone probably knows it.
So now Death points out to the auditor dogs that because they're striving and they want something, they're mortal and he can do something about them now. And they're trying to dash away and escape his wrath.
Yeah.
Death bears down on one of them. And now remains only one question. Have you been naughty or nice? Ho, ho, ho.
Nice. Or naughty.
Susan looks at the boar. It's dead. She starts crying and hitting it and screaming, "We saved you, you can't be dead." They fought so hard. And the sun rises. And the boar turns into a man. He has a loincloth and blue tattoos. And she tries to help him walk. And every time she turns away and then looks back at him, he looks different. They're walking down the hill, and he starts choking, and he grabs his throat. So she gives him the Heimlich maneuver, and out pops a little black bean. Because he was the man who got the bean.
We were doing all the legends all at the same time.
Yes. Susan hears a bird, and it's a wren. She looks back. Now the man is in fur robes, and he has a spear. And then they turn into great white robes, and he looks like a priest. And now there are 4 boars and a sleigh made out of logs, and he has red robes. Hogfather climbs into the sleigh and nods at Susan, and then he takes off. She was able to pull him through all of his worlds and his lives.
By believing him.
She believed in him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a nice, tidy little end to that arc. I really enjoy that.
Yeah. Death offers to take Susan home. She wants to know if he really believed she would succeed at this. Right? Because it's like, you put me through all this, and I succeeded. But what if it had gone wrong? And he's like, I was sure you would do it. I believed in you, you know? And she's like, well, the sun would have just come up. It always comes up. That's its job. What would have happened if you hadn't saved him? Yes, the sun would have risen just the same. Yes? No. Oh, come on, you can't expect me to believe that. It's an astronomical fact. The sun would not have risen. She turned on him. It's been a long night, grandfather. I'm tired and I need a bath. I don't need silliness. The sun would not have risen. Really? Then what would have happened, pray? A mere ball of flaming gas would have illuminated the world.
Yeah!
And that is humanity in a nutshell.
God damn it. That's killer. It's so silly.
And it's so good.
Yeah, I guess the moral of the story is just let people have fun.
Let people have their beliefs.
Yeah.
They're there for a reason, even if we don't like the reasons.
Yeah.
Humans need stories to be human. You believe little lies like Hogfather and the Tooth Fairy so that you can believe in big lies. Justice, mercy, and duty. They ride Binky back to Susan's home, and she invites him in for a cup of cocoa. Because she's finally accepting that this is her grandfather, and that's what you should do at Christmas at Hogswatch is invite your old grandpa in for a cup of cocoa.
Yeah.
He has a biscuit, and Susan goes to the kitchen. Twyla comes in, and she warns Death that Susan has a poker. Because she sees a skeleton in a black robe sitting in her...
It's a monster, and she hits monsters with pokers.
She's going to take away his stocking and then come back to watch Susan beat the hell out of him.
It's a very, very dark child.
Susan backs out of the kitchen holding the kettle. Tea Time is holding Death's sword. Wait, how did we miss that part? Oh, shoot. I skipped that whole paragraph.
Yeah, whatever happened to Teotomy?
He fell into the Great Hall at Unseen University because wherever this child's place is right above the university.
Huh.
And when he falls through the Tooth Fairy circle, the little circle at the bottom, he appears above the Great Feast and crashes into everyone's meals.
Huh.
And he's not breathing. So Red Cully comes over and picks him up by an ankle and thumps him on the chest, and he starts breathing. And then he picks up Death's sword and runs away. So I had missed that paragraph where Tea Time didn't die.
Yeah, that's fine.
Anyways, so...
We were doing other stuff. We were...
having too much fun.
Yeah. We were saving Santa.
We were saving Santa and the sun. Tea Time is holding Death's sword, and he tells Susan to call the children. So he's ready to have his evil showdown. They come in, and he tells them he's caught this bogeyman, and he's talking about Death. Mm-hmm. And Gawain and Twyla look at Death, and they're like, he's just a skeleton. He's not particularly scary after all of the monsters they've seen.
Right.
And he's like, well, what should we do with him? And they're like, meh. He's not scary. But Tea Time, he's creepy. These kids don't like this guy with his weird eyeballs.
The kids can pick up a vibe.
Yeah, he has a weird eye and a weird vibe. So he raises the sword to stab Death. And the idea is you can kill Death because you have Death's sword.
I guess.
That's the idea. Susan picks up the poker, throws it through Death, and it impales Tea Time in the chest. Because in this nursery... Tea Time is the real monster, and the poker kills all monsters.
Wow. Yeah, still saved by child belief again.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
And Death catches the sword as Tea Time drops it, and he uses it to cut the life thread. And then Susan is pissed at him that the children had to see that, and what if that hadn't worked? And what was he going to do at the last minute if she didn't come up with a plan? And he believes it in her, and he believed it would be fine.
Yeah.
And she was like, the children had to see it. And he says, it was educational.
Just like with the sword earlier.
Just like the sword. Death takes the body to prevent any questions, because he doesn't want her... employers to have any problems. Before Death leaves, he gives a soaking wet card to her. He tried to make her a card, but the snow melted and the robin flew away.
He's trying so hard. He's just bad at it.
Happy Hogs Watch. All of the little loose ends get wrapped up. Red Cully takes off his hat and a gnome falls out. He thought they dealt with all the random little fairies. Well, you know the gling-a-ling-a-ling noise? Every time someone invented a fairy, the gnome holds up some silver bells rather sheepishly. Red Cully chases him away.
Yeah.
The librarian goes to play the pipe organ, and Red Cully climbs into the shower. And due to Bloody Johnson's design, Red Cully discovers why the bathroom was boarded up and instructs Moto to board it up with signs and nails for nobody to ever go into it again. The best present Gawain got was the little gray marble. It wins all of the games. And the beggars go to a restaurant to beg, because if they're given things, they'll go away. And their dinner tastes familiar. It tastes like old boots and mud.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
The end. Happy Hogs Watch.
Yay. That was a lot of fun. I really like that one.
Yes, you have to... Here, take it back. But not for 2 years again this time. I skipped so many cute jokes and so many cute little scenes because this is a long enough of an episode.
Yeah.
But it's just... I just love his stuff.
Yeah. I just love, like, where his stories take you. Like, even that little bit about those beliefs being there for a reason. And, like, in real life, you know, believing in made-up things like Santa or God... there's a reason for it. It's ultimately harmful, in my opinion, but, you know, it is there for a reason. I've always thought that if you were to put religion in the best possible light, it would be humanity's attempt to hug itself and make itself feel better in a world that is scary and weird, and you want something to comfort you.
And because we're such a social species, we need stories to help us create community, protect our community, and stay a part of it. Because being a community is such hard work. Taking care of other people is really hard work.
Yeah.
But if you believe that you'll get rewarded in the next life for giving to the beggar or caring for this old granny or giving alms or whatever, you're incentivized to do things that are good for the community as a whole, even if they're harmful to you as a person.
Yeah. Or ultimately harmful in a lot of other ways to other people and stuff like that. So, yeah.
But he cares about humans. He cares about humanity. And he was just such a good person.
Yeah.
You just read his books and it just feels like he saw people as they really were and he still cared about them. You know?
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing this report. It was a lot of fun.
It was so fun.
It's a nice Christmas thing.
Yes. Merry Christmas, everybody. From my cold, stone, dead tax accountant heart. What's funny is I get to be the
whimsical.
I get to be whimsical and fun here. And then in my work, I have to
go back to being a soulless robot.
Yeah. And I think this podcast helps me enjoy my human side and artistic side and all of that.
Yeah.
Because, accounting is just boring and it's just work, you know?
Yeah.
And this is our fun stuff.
Yeah, that's fun.
All right.
Well, if you guys enjoyed listening to this, give us a like, follow, subscribe on various social medias. We're on Blue Sky.
We're on YouTube. We're on Reddit.
Spotify.
Yeah. Share us with a friend.
I mean, you're probably already listening to us on Spotify, so.
If you have a friend who would be cheered up by this story, send it to them and tell them, Merry Hogs Watch, and let them be very confused.
Yeah.
Until they listen to this. And then they'll realize you care about them.
Or just buy them a copy of the book. You know that friend that you've been struggling to get a gift for?
Oh, this book.
Yeah, Hogfather by Terry Pratchett. Get it for him. It's awesome.
I started reading Interesting Times to Rory the other day.
That was the postal guy or going postal guy? I can't remember.
No, it's the one with Rincewind, and he gets sent to the counterweight continent, which is Asia.
That was The Color of Magic, right?
No, his story continues in Interesting Times, and he gets sent, and he meets Two Flower and Two Flower's daughter.
No, yeah. I couldn't remember what the character's name was, but it was the same wizard that was in.
It's the same wizard as The Color of Magic, the original one.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I realized since we have actual recording stuff, I could record the books and then Rory could listen to them on his computer whenever he wanted. Because he loves listening to audiobooks. He's listened to We Free Men.
Oh, are you talking about like recording your own audiobook for him?
Yeah, because I wouldn't get in trouble like commercially. I'm
as
not
long as you're not
distributing it to
selling it.
anyone else.
Yeah.
Just I could record myself reading these books to him.
Yeah.
And then he could listen to them and it would be me reading it to him whenever.
Yeah. I actually had an idea a few weeks ago and I made my friend cry.
Damn.
Because we had been talking about getting new mics, and I was like, well, I think I have an idea for the old mics. And my friend, whose dad just died, I had an idea that I thought he might like, and I did it in my usual tactless way, really upset him.
Yeah, what did you say?
I told him I had an idea, sort of like a podcast, more like an audio log for his kids to listen to after he died.
Oh, God.
And wouldn't that have been a nice thing if your dad had done something like that for you? And then he started crying, and I was like, I think I did this real bad.
Yeah.
And, he really appreciated the idea.
Only it's also
he
very
just wasn't
painful.
Yeah, he just wasn't ready for it in that particular moment because he was just driving to work.
Oh my God.
And I just had been thinking about that and I just dropped it on him all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I feel like these podcasts for us will be something I enjoy listening to years and decades from now, because listening to it, I remember where I was when I read the books and what was going on in my life when we did each episode.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of different stuff and us having fun. And so I love re-listening to them for that reason. But I was thinking, if I made Rory different audiobook recordings, that's just me reading to him. It's not something I'm trying to make money off of.
Right.
Bring all
I
the
think that
stuff.
would be perfectly fine.
I was thinking that might be something he would enjoy.
Yeah. Oh, then you can learn some audio editing.
Oh, God. No, he will just get an unedited mess.
Has to listen to all your coughs and your lip smackings.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.